We can't hear Towito. Oh yeah, you certainly cannot. Sorry, the button didn't go through.
It's fine.
Now they can hear you.
Okay. Hi. I just said hello to everybody. I'll say it again. Hi guys. Anyway, yeah, we've got a really cool bracket coming in today. We've got about 25 players here. A lot of them quite strong, that I would say. We've got a very cool, interesting mix right now. I also have to shout out the model. It's actually looking really good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
This model's
I freaking love it. Thank you.
Yeah, they did a really great job on it. Anyway, but yeah, we've got a lot of cool sets going on here today. I've got a couple that are personally my favorite, whether we see them or not, who knows. We are planning on starting off though with Sodelic versus StardustLucy, which should be very exciting. Sodelic has been playing for quite a while now. I'm not entirely sure when they actually started in terms of their BLAZBLUE journey. Quite sure it's like bare minimum by like Chrono Phantasma, but they've been playing for a bit. Very like notable, I'd say a pretty known New York Carl player. They also play Bang. I have no idea who they will pick, quite frankly, because Sodelic definitely just kind of marches to the beat of their own drum. They're a wild guy in a sense. Lucy, as I understand, is a relatively newer player onto the scene. I think they were, I always forget exactly on the details of when they started. I believe it was either earlier last year or maybe the year before. It always slips my head. But they have been playing Hibiki as of late. I believe they've played some Susanoo before, but not too sure who they'll come in to pick with. But should be interesting. They definitely fiend for a lot of games. So yeah, should be exciting.
Yeah, honestly, sounds like it. I've always loved seeing like these players come up, especially love seeing Sodelic. You never know if they'll go with the crazy Bang or like the really nicely calculated Carl. So honestly, I always love seeing them. And even some new names that we have in the bracket that I know are really good. Like even Kasha, which I've known for a while, since when I actually started BLAZBLUE. Know them as a really good 9 player.
Yeah.
Hopefully get to see them later on in the bracket too.
Yeah, we've got 2 9s here today, which is pretty cool, I would say. It's a shame we didn't get Julio Creverian, but we do have 2 awesome 9s. We have the Spine, who, if I remember correctly, is from Chicago. Who, if you were looking at majors recently, the last major we saw them at, if I remember correctly, was for Combo Breaker back in May. And of course, Kasha, who is in the West Coast, if I remember, who is more usually known as a TO, but they've been signing up for a lot more brackets and getting in a lot more games lately, which is wonderful to see. But that being said, we've got a different set going on here. We got Lucy versus Sodelic, and it appears to be the Hibiki versus the Bang. Okay.
That's quite nice. Pretty much like ninja characters of the game, right?
Yeah. Bang is hard to describe, but Bang players love to play very, very fast-paced. So expect a couple of scramble situations and a lot of air movement in general. Hibiki is no slouch in movement as well, and has some pretty cool tools like JBB and JC in order to cover space. So it'll be on both characters to kind of figure out how they want to maneuver around each other, both on the ground and in the air.
Rebel 1, action!
Starting off. You already do see some of that air mobility, as you mentioned before. Yeah, gotta love the
Oh, and gets the aerial command grab. That's very good. Bumper is still set. Probably not going to be super relevant until we get to mid-screen, but there's the reversal throw from Lucy.
Taking it to the corner, too.
Sodelic immediately popping overdrive as well. The big thing here, though, is that he has no seal, so he doesn't get any of the extra properties here, so he's kind of has to fly by, like, very quickly in order to at least get a hit. And Lucy managing to get out of that, honestly, pretty fine, but still gets clipped by the 5B and the resulting scramble off the drop combo. There it is. Sodelic just cleaning up with the super there as well.
Rebel 2, action!
Sorry, even after the counter hit, still sadly didn't get much, and Sodelic got a nice match for it. getting the corner pressure with it.
Yeah, one thing that you'll definitely see from Sodelic a lot is that in a lot of scramble situations, he is the type to push for the issue and definitely will throw out a button after a mash. So something to watch out for a bit, but looks like Lucy wants to keep it under control here, going for the J2D, but gets caught by the 2D from Bang. Sodelic was probably expecting another aerial from Lucy. You can beat out that 2D with like a 2DB. It loses to lows, essentially. And then Sodelic falling down. We gotta remember, Bang's 2A is a low. So it's very good for him to catch like fuzzy jumps, or in general, if you're like expecting some other mix-up, to just do a simple 2A and catch a low. All right, now we're already moving on to game two relatively quickly, I would say. Lucy definitely showing signs of life right now, but Sodelic is definitely the type of Bang where you do not want to get caught up in their pace, because you're just going to get cooked if you let them do what they want.
Yeah, Bang is especially like good at setting paces and everything, and like I feel Hibiki can do well at playing at other characters' pace, but you have to create your own against like Bang. You can't just let them do what they want, because if not, this just kind of happens. You get rolled.
Yeah. The big thing here that Lucy can stand to do a bit more in order to kind of avoid situations like this with an excellent perfect prep from Sodelic is that they honestly can just afford to kind of wait out a lot more Bang's air options, right? We saw it earlier like really briefly, but that counter hit JB is super relevant. Unfortunately, not quite like that when you're getting caught up by the rising air normal there from Sodelic. Doesn't get the full conversion, but still picks up from the delay air tech. Throws out the nail, not quite working out here as well. Man, these command grabs are working out super well. Hopefully we'll see a bit more fuzzy jumps from Lucy to try to get out of them.
So we actually see the OD getting used in order just to get a nice combo, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, Hibiki is no slouch to damage in general, but that overdrive, like, cranks it. Like, that's a basic, like, 3C loop. His optimal OD stuff is kind of nuts. Sodelic, speaking of optimal, might be able to close it out here with just a super. Doesn't even need to spend any more resources. No burst for Lucy. They just gotta hold that.
But still, Lucy does have a burst for the next turn. Actually, no.
Yeah, that was the last one.
That round.
Yeah, it was that fast.
I didn't realize. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely fast. Excuse me on that. Sodelic actually takes it 2-0 really fast.
But yeah, that's just to speak a lot on just the way how Bang can be played in general and how much Sodelic, if you give them an inch, will like take a mile with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's still a ton of different interactions that we didn't necessarily get the chance to see, but you can, I think one big thing of that match is that there's a ton of different offensive options that Bang has, right? So he gets to just do a lot if you let him get away with it. And if you're not ready to show a bit more defensive options, like a counter assault, if you can't IBB him out, or you don't know good timings to fuzzy jump, you're just gonna kind of get rolled. You know, and that's been the running theme of what we've been saying, but just to emphasize that a bit further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bang can just roll over people really easily.
I want to say the audience has rolled over these Matcherino codes really easily. We only have 18. We only have 18 left. So thank you everybody for so quickly using the codes already. We really do appreciate it. We still have 18 to go. You know, don't pat yourself on the back yet, but very quick early usage. Love to see it.
The more of those we get through, the more the pot grows for later tonight.
Yeah.
It's always good to see.
Don't forget, there's a whole lot of other stuff you can do. Let's not forget, you know, you can use that code. You can get some HelloFresh boxes. You know, use the code POGSE14059. Get up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts across 6 HelloFresh boxes. Pretty snazzy if you ask me.
Not
But
bad, not bad.
I think what may be even sicker is the Stan Tech Gang hoodies and long sleeves. You guys want to get these? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what y'all were whipping up in the studio, but those designs are going crazy. I love them quite a bit. I need to pick one up. I actually need to buy one myself.
Absolutely, yeah, those are super good. I also want to say the first match was really, really good, but I think every match for the remainder of this tournament is going to be a certified classic. Like, we've got so many good matches coming up. This is going to be Adroth versus the Spine. Round 2, by the way.
Round 2, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, so, okay, this entire round 2 is, like, kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So we already have some of the brackets set up already. First off, you have Oni versus Joker, which would normally be the Ragna mirror and a bit of a classic. These two have a lot of history playing each other over the last couple of years. Though Joker has been on the Lambda, so we may see that later, depending on how bracket it shakes up. Adroth versus the Spine, which we're seeing here right now.
Yes.
And then there's Ereth versus Sodelic later on. And then we still haven't seen Killer Kitty, Zen, or Myoro play yet. So, like, there's a lot going on here. But it looks like the Spine is going to opt for the Mai right now. So this will be Mai versus Susan.
So tell me, actually, how does Mai do in this matchup? Because I know, like, they got some pretty big buttons and a decent neutral with their spear and everything, just throwing it.
But yeah,
I think big buttons from Susanoo could also still just working the damage.
so the main thing here is, frankly, more on Mai's buttons than her spear in general, right? Spear is a nice zoning tool, but there's not really too much going on here against them. The other big thing with Mai that you're going to see very frequently throughout this set is likely her plethora of defensive options. This character gets to mash on you, has an amazing reversal option, and has a guard point super, reversal super. Paired all together, this character's got a lot of like obnoxious tools to deal with in general, and Susan has to kind of hold that in a lot of situations, but Adroth has a lot of experience in general, so we may see some interesting situations crop up. But I don't believe these two actually honestly have a lot of history together specifically, so we'll have to see how it develops. But yeah, right now you can see one of the main things here in neutral is the way how Spine is moving around, right? They do not want to force a situation to get hit by Susan because you are going to get hurt, especially when it's up against Adroth, who unfortunately dropped the combo, looking for the counter assault there with the RC. Doesn't get anything else for it. There's the reversal super already coming in. Spine wants to close out right now, engaging quickly, using a couple of the projectile strings right now. Trying to back off, but those air buttons from Susan. Goes for the throw, and yeah, he's definitely dead here.
Yeah, especially considering we do have like Sword on deck as well. Grand Viper just got picked up, and now we'll take it.
Yeah, but and Adroth didn't even spend overdrive yet.
No,
that's the big
that's
thing.
still in play.
Yeah, Spine popped the burst a bit early, so his burst management isn't quite up there yet. But thankfully, that match went to almost the time, honestly, going to 14 seconds. So he is going to have burst back quite soon, right at the end of this combo here. Gets the 6C, instant burst there. Maybe he was looking for an overdrive, not too sure, but it makes sense against Susanoo. Sometimes you really just don't want this character to end up building momentum, but he will press on. Having Sword already is actually fantastic, especially for dealing with the drive and kind of cleaving a big range.
And in combo, it also does like insane damage, doesn't it?
Yeah, he can use Sword in his routing to do a ton of damage. Speaking of which, you're not even seeing the full thing here, but Adroth cleaning up that around there and taking the first game.
Yeah, very nicely done too.
Yeah, that was super clean play. So you can kind of see from both players, like as I've been mentioning a bit, right? These two are not really going to go like throw everything to the wall, right? Spine is looking for certain situations to engage in and start pressure, and Adroth is playing very patiently and just waiting out an ideal situation. And even then, like on defense, he's getting a lot of really good match 2As. Spine here, however, nice opener. Definitely is trying to say something like, hey, all right, cool. Yeah, you took the first game confidently, but I still have something to show for it. Nice 2C to catch Adroth landing there and gets the throw. Next hit should be able to kill after this.
Yeah, nearly a perfect so far for the Spine. Catching a bit of a roll.
Just needs that one or more hit, but again, the 2A mashes from Adroth working out super well. But he's got a big hill to climb. Spine popping the overdrive, wants to clean it up there, and with the 2A after dive, that'll definitely do it.
Yeah, just spending the resources to take the round. But it is going to be a bit scary now. Only 3 ticks on the burst against Adroth, who still has burst and OD.
Well, no more burst.
There. Yeah.
So the big thing here is going to be the active flow management that we'll see over time. Hopefully for Spine, he'll get the chance to get active flow to build up that burst gauge back, but Adroth is locked out of that for the round, so he's just got to do this straight up. And the big thing here too is that overdrive for Susan is such a strong feature. So to be without that defensively and offensively really sucks. And already, Spine looking like he wants to clean this up.
And they have full meter as well. They could use it for so much, but Adroth going to be using counter assault. Oh, that trades with the jazz hands right there.
So everybody has a different word for that. Hold on a second. Let's wait till the end of this round. Trying to pop the super. Adroth is having none of it, just sitting and blocking. Nice counter hit on the 2A there. Saw the whiff throw. Wheel unlocked and Grand Viper is a pretty good situation for Susan. We are mashing through overdrive activation. He should be able to kill off this with a Wheel RC. Yeah, just finishes it up there with the orb. So everybody has a different word for orb. Some people call it ball, some people call it orb, some people call it other things.
I feel like Spark Hand, and I'm just like, it's just jazz hands, bro.
Never heard Spark Hands, actually. It makes sense, but I've never heard it. That's funny. And Adroth is a very big proponent of orb. This lets Susanoo pressure reset in so many really cool ways, and he gets to add a little extra damage for his combos. And for his main combo, Ender Super and Reversal Super, it actually tacks on like a ton of damage. It's very silly. I'm saying all this interesting stuff while Adroth is about a perfect spine. Pops the overdrive on the burst activation, not in time to block it, but this is looking pretty good for Adroth. Doesn't need to force the issue, just playing with the lead, throwing out a lot of normals in neutral in order to catch out spine, and he cleans it up 2-0. Jesus.
Even getting pushed like full screen could still just find their way back in and not even risk their perfect either.
Yeah.
2-0.
I know.
Nice.
Very clean set right there from Adroth. I think the big thing there is, you mentioned this at the beginning, actually, when you asked, you were like, hey, like, how does this matchup work? You know, Mai's got these big buttons, but Susan also has these massive air buttons. And I think this was a pretty good showing of that, right? In a lot of situations at the mid-range, Susan has a plethora of obnoxious tools to stuff opponents in the air. Mai still has some pretty awesome air buttons. Her J, B, and JC are nothing to scoff at, especially JC on counter hit, leading to good reward. But you didn't see a lot of situations where it felt like Spine was comfortable, like, pressing buttons at mid-range, right? Like, he either ended up getting up close, or he played it back, looking for a way to start their pressure with with certain other situations. And then like on defense too. I mean, Adroth's challenges were super good. Like it was actually like insanely consistent challenges there in my opinion.
Adroth has entered a few of these. I've noticed his challenges are always top notch, and like when Susan gets the good mid-range like win on two buttons coming at each other, you just explode in its corner, and then that's where Adroth thrives.
Yeah, Adroth is a very patient player.
Yeah.
He has like amazing confirms to kind of back up for when he eventually gets the hit. And he has a pretty decent read on people. Yeah, he's been exciting to see for quite a while. He's also going to CEO Taku, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
so
that's in my home turf, my Florida land. Yeah.
You may get the chance to catch them offline. Yeah, Canada will be coming down to the US. Should be exciting to see. So we have a couple more matches that are also going through as well. Okay, so this one should also be very cool. The next one that we have planned is going to be Zen versus Kasha.
Yep, I'm calling them up right now.
Right. Now, Zen is a pretty well-known Ragna player. They've been playing BLAZBLUE a while, let's put it that way. The easiest way to describe Zen is that he's a nutcase, and that he will try to make you play at his own tempo, and then switch it up to keep you confused. He's been playing Ragna for ages. Has had some pretty good placements as well as of late. Placed, if I remember correctly, in like top 24, like bare minimum for Combo Breaker. Did quite well at DreamHack, made a top 8 there in the CF bracket, if I remember correctly. So yeah, those are probably like the major things that he's played at recently. Kasha has not been able to make it to, I sound Australian, has not been able to make it for a big offline bracket in a while, as I understand it, but they've been around for plenty of net play tournaments and, you know, putting some out of their own.
Yeah. Kasha has been a pretty good member of the community as well, and as well with their Twitter, they constantly post out like tons of different 9 tech that they find and just think that are interesting. So I always love seeing them like come out to these types of things.
Yeah. You know they used to play Lambda?
I think I do remember that, 'cause I think they've beaten me with their Lambda a couple times.
Moving on to the set. Zen managing to get the last hit of the Nightmare Edge there. Trying to go for the 5D. Expecting Kasha to kind of step and throwing out some buttons a little preliminarily. Gets the Gauntlet Hades right there, offline and online. You're going to have to hold that.
Net play unblockable, even with rollback, he's still getting hit.
You know how it is. Tries to DP out. Kasha's unable to punish it. Gets a counter hit Gauntlet, gets a counter hit Hell's Fang. Not much leading afterwards. Kasha falling down with the J2A. Standard confirm right over here. Setting up the ice. Not going to go for any reset or anything. Just getting the Karaoke, keeping Zen locked down like that. Trying to go for the DP there, but not working out successfully. Looked like they wanted to go for a crush trigger setup there. Ooh, and there's the Zen classic. If there's one thing that Zen does, he does the 5D anti-air. He loves doing that. I have no idea why, but that is his classic. But unfortunately, that is meaningless in the face of a humongous beam from 9.
Right now, resources are a little low.
Yeah,
for
both players.
Yeah, other players.
Yeah.
Kasha
9.
Hit.
Yeah, 9 usually benefits like from her overdrive primarily to like do a lot more damage or like bursting out of situations. But Ragna OD is like pretty dang strong, I would say. It's one of the stronger overdrives in the game. Great block from Zen though. Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, gets opened up afterwards, and it's time for some Karaoke. Oh, going for the rock reset. I don't see Kasha go for that very much. That is very nice to see them do that.
Yeah, Kasha's ones that usually just go for the fairy stuff, and just they love their own karaoke's.
Yeah,
Always find different things, but yeah, the rock reset working out perfectly there. Just wasn't looking for it.
You would normally expect to see that from other players like Julio Crivera or Taksu, whose main game plans often run around like getting you to the corner and putting you through like the grossest mix possible. Kasha, meanwhile, generally just playing it a bit safer and just kind of looking for opportunities. Keeps the Oki relatively standard, I would say.
Right now, Zen is actually working on this, already finding their way in, getting another nice combo.
50% already down for Kasha. This is looking real good for Zen. Catching the delay tech and goes for the 5D to catch the neutral tech as well.
Has meter here. Are we going to spend it?
Oh, he wants to kill right now.
Yeah,
okay.
Just spend it all. I mean, it was
I can't
worth
disagree.
it. Look at that red health there. It's just not gonna work.
He finished it up very cleanly. I was expecting him to go for safe jump, but honestly, like, if you do not want to deal with another round, you want to close it, I can't blame you. Golly, JC's a bug.
It's also a way to send a message, like, yeah, you took game 1, but nah, I'm still in this. I can still make this work.
Yeah. 5D anti-air once again working out for Zen. There's a bit more to talk about that later, but we'll mention that kind of over time as we see a bit of it. For now, though, Kasha setting up the fairy in neutral, wants to keep Zen locked down. No DP from him. Zen's got 50 meters, so DPRC or counter assault is locked down. Goes for the rock.
Block.
Oh, great
Good
challenge from Kasha. Yeah. Nice adjustment on the combo there, too. The height was a bit awkward, but Kasha managed around it super well. Sets up the seed, no J2A, high-low right there. Kasha looking for the anti-air, but Zen just blazing through with the Hell's Fang. 50 meter left, OD available, any hit Zen gets is going to lead to death. Ooh!
And there we go with just, the 5D. Catching it out. One game apiece for both players. Pretty nice already.
So the big thing here, right? To be frank, Zen's getting a lot of 5D hits in neutral, right? Yeah. The thing about 5D is that it is horrible on whiff, and the startup is long. And Ragna has a ton of other tools like JA, 5A, and 6A, right? So realistically speaking, Kasha can play a bit more defensively and wait out these 5Ds in order to punish them properly. Especially when you have tools around like the 5C and G2A. There's a lot of ways in which 9 can basically play around and punish Zen for like taking these actions. We haven't seen it quite yet, but there it is again, right? The 5D hits a huge range, but it's slow. Had Kasha gotten the chance to do another step, he probably would have avoided it and still had enough time to punish. Kasha wisely stepping, not falling to that near throw.
Got the open up. Using the rock again for that reset.
Bit awkward there.
Gauntlet
Zen-
Hades.
the YOLO Gauntlet Hades. Cleans
Yeah,
it up
just-
with a simple distortion drive there.
Rebel
One round away for Zen.
action.
Yeah, he's already at set point. And there it is. See, you can just jump back and then go for JB. In general, a weird thing that you don't see from 9 super often is that they don't often lean on the B normals, which have huge range with no hurtbox, which would allow Kasha to avoid these situations of getting caught up on Zen's like right? There it is again. Going for only one step, Zen is already primed and ready with the 5D.
It's been working out well. Also,
Yeah,
nice go back.
He is hit on counter hit more than he is whiffed, which is already like good.
Yeah, it's already making its value up for how dangerous it can be.
Ooh, and Kasha is showing the value of a dangerous mix-up right there, going for the God Hand, the Rock. Very nice. Tries to go for the cross-up. The J2A manages to clean up the round. Kasha showing some signs of life.
Rebel 3 action.
Yeah, that fairy mix was pretty nice. But still,
Yep.
he has to win this round. Both players at that set point.
Yeah, Zen going for the deepest Hell's Fang. I swear to God, some Ragnars have a Hell's Fang quarter. They will just hit that in neutral as many times as they can. Kasha with the quick rise smash, you know the vibes. And there's the 5A from Zen. We've barely seen any of it, but it is amazing. Once again, catching the delay tech. And you saw that situation happen earlier, like just last round, right? Kasha going for this, like the teleport in the air, falling down with an air normal, and Zen tried this 5D it. Thankfully, Kasha managed to get it just like that. Amazing throw tech! He follow-ups with, steps out of the corner, and suddenly the tides have turned.
Kasha dropping. There's the OD pop from both players. Just dodges the EA. RC's to keep himself safe. Baits the DP, but RC as well. There's the Gauntlet Hades, and that kills. Zen taking it 2-1 for Kasha.
If you're Kasha, you hate to go out like that in that scramble situation. They had such an amazing like hit right there, but they were just unable to make the most of it. In that situation, maybe there was a way to set up a spell or something, but it is what it is. Sometimes them's the breaks. We saw a few adjustments from Kasha there, but again, I think had they been able to bait out a lot of Zen's options, we would have seen perhaps a bit more situations where suddenly Kasha turns the tide. You know, there's other neutral tools that 9 has available as well, especially Mono Wind and Mono Fire, which are amazing on counter and will blow somebody back. But then Amethyst, we didn't see much Amethyst in neutral, which is shocking. It's the big shock ball for quick reference.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I do have to say shout outs to Zen for playing very well, catching on to a lot of Kasha's movement options, throwing out great normals to catch them, and staying unfazed when Kasha managed to get resets or sort of win out and start their own offense. Because you can fold the 9 in a lot of situations and get washed right then and there.
Oh, yeah. Those preemptive, like, 5Ds and the Hell's Fang's not so much as a preemptive option, but just, like, really good usage of the tools to be where Kasha wanted to be. And then it ended up working out. After that first round, that was looking pretty heavily in Kasha's favor.
Yeah, overall doing quite solidly. We have a couple. Okay, we got some. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna say this literally every round. We've got really cool matches.
I know they're so good.
Yeah. Very, very good. We have Adroth and Myoro. And then afterwards we got Oregon versus Ereth. And then the winner of those to get into top 8 will also be very exciting. Loser side has also been pretty interesting so far. Not too much has passed by, but we do have Joker sitting in losers round 2. We have the Spine sitting in losers round 2 as well. And Kasha waiting on a set or two in order to get their losers run started. So got a lot of room to play with here.
And we do.
Yes, indeed. And we still have a few Matcherino codes, 12 to be precise. Doing pretty good. It's only round 3. So plenty of time to use them, but there is no time like the present. So get in there, use those codes, and we won't hound you about them anymore. Oh, wow, they're starting. Okay, hold on.
Select your character.
Oh, going on pretty fast.
Yeah, already getting into it. Oh, Myoro's playing his Tao. Oh my god. Yes, 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 yes.
I
yes.
love this. I love this.
Okay. So Myoro's like most well known for his Relius, but he actually was a Taokaka main before Relius.
Really? That's
Yes.
so interesting.
And this, okay, so like if you talk to Myoro, like he's an app, okay, he has like so much to say about like almost every technical aspect in this game. But this man knows Tao like the back of his hand. This dude like knows Taokaka a lot, and he's been playing it a little bit in casuals lately. I am shocked that he is playing it against Adroth in bracket though, but we're gonna see what happens. This is not what I was expecting today.
Yeah, not at all. Tao, not like the easiest of characters either, and I wouldn't expect it to really do all too well against Susanoo of all things as well.
Taokaka is a weird character for a lot of reasons, and I'll explain them as we go along for it. But just know that Myoro popping burst is actually devastating because Taokaka's overdrive is like absurd damage.
Yeah, it's basically like a Grenadian, right?
Yes. It is a Grenadian where she then gets the ability to reverse beat, and off of a lot of starters, she can do like 6k. Off of the right starter, she can do like 6k, I should say.
So yeah, spending the burst is not what you want to be doing. You want to be holding on to that OD. But at the same time, Susanoo damage is a little bit difficult to deal with. You don't want to be caught in that. Nice.
And you're up against Adroth, and you have the lowest health in the game. The odds are not stacked in terms of the damage race for this set whatsoever. Get some good IVBs, managing to push Adroth out to the Crusher, completely whiffed right here. Nice RC for the 2A low. Alrighty, do you have wall cling mix? What do you got for us, Myoro? Nope, just opting down for the 2A pressure right here. Keeping it rather tight. Pops the overdrive, but Myoro recovers in time, gets the 2A mash right there. Should be very good keeping Adroth from getting any extra unlocks or any big damage right now. Myoro playing it safe, but the level 2 wheel pillar is massive, my friends. Gets out of the reversal super, and yeah, Myoro kind of had to burst there. He was probably dead.
Yeah, you have to spend the burst. It's one of your only last chances. Gets the hit, though. Can't finish it off, but just 2As.
Yeah. So the thing with Taokaka, right? People say she has no damage. That's a fat lie. That's actually a humongous lie. The problem with Taokaka's damage is that you have to work extremely hard for it. These confirms are not easy whatsoever. They are very tight.
Like for her easier combos, like it's really low, but if you find these hits, you can get some nice damage and really nice mix there as well.
Yeah, the wall cling mix is extremely strong. You saw Adroth getting the 6B there. He probably like pressed for IBB and got his like input reversed.
Right now,
Adroth finding
a combo.
Right.
Getting some decent stuff.
Pressure. Just barely gets the meter for the RC there to continue pressure. He has overdrive available. Myoro getting hit. Myoro himself, though, is going to pop active flow soon. If they can just hold out long enough, they might be able to get it and pop overdrive, but we'll have to see. Good IVBs here. Oh, tried to mash after. Did he get the jump cancel? No! Oh, he's out of barrier.
Finds the reversal.
Oh my god, this is so tense. Oh, but Adroth just barely gets the 5B. So the thing with that situation is that Myoro was in danger state, and you can't barrier while you're in danger state. So if you get hit by like basically almost anything Adroth has, like you're instantly dead, including the pillar, which would probably chip him out. So that was really dicey.
Here we have Myoro still going with the Tao, actually. Not switching to the Relius or anything. So still can think that like they can do this. They're still sticking with it.
No, they look confident.
This time we get to see like the ODs pop as well.
Yeah. Top of the JC right there. Gets hit by the 60 as well, and the no tech is getting called out. If there's one thing about Myoro that you may notice over time is that he opts to go for a lot of rolls and a lot of delay techs, and if you catch on to that, you can abuse that pretty heavily. Gets a level 2 pillar right here now, Adroth. Very good neutral presence here.
There's the Fang again.
Yeah, and what's interesting to me is that Adroth is opening up Myoro a lot with these overheads here. I can't tell if Myoro is either looking for the 3C low or not. Susan in general does not have many lows. It's one of his bigger weaknesses, actually. So there are some cases where you can just block high and react low, but it looks like, yeah, Myoro's just kind of opting to maybe look for a different situation or has his focus elsewhere. There's the 3C now catching Myoro low, funny enough.
unlocked. You got Grand Viper, God Press, and Sword. So no DP in case you want to for this combo. Let's see,
Alright.
Blue Beat pops out. Still in the corner though.
Counter assaults, gets caught by the drive though. Oh my goodness, a couple of whiffs from Myoro, but still staying safe. Forces the burst out of Adroth. Rather surprising here. This is at set point already. Myoro's got a ton of meter, forcing the burst right there. Adroth trying to look for the counter assault from Myoro to bait it and take the kill. Okay, good fuzzy jump there.
This is gonna take maybe a couple more hits. Still, good spot from Myoro.
With the right starter, can kill off of this, but it's gonna be difficult. Gets the JC. Gonna get the passive meter gain from being below 30%. Can Myoro close this out? Just a little more, but not enough. And the JC just barely connecting.
Very, very close. But Myoro puts around on the board, staying alive. That's what matters right now. Finding a nice counter hit. Can we take this to the corner? Yes, we can.
And look at that damage. A good old 3-point. And then Adroth rolled out of the corner. Okay.
Yep. But still finding the cross up. Adroth having spent burst. This is pretty good. Adroth has DP seal unlocked, but that's about it. Purple throw to reset. Decent damage now, yeah?
Yeah, surprisingly for the purple throw. You don't see that from Myoro very often. Good fuzzy jump on the throw attempt there. Caught crouching though. This is going to be a couple of big unlocks for Susanoo. That's the level 2 sand kick. Oh, just trying to throw and gets reversal super for it. Myoro's got access to overdrive.
Cross up.
Yeah, doesn't even
need it at all.
Cleans it up right there.
Very nice. Myoro putting a game on the board as well, showing that their talent can work actually. It was a little scary, but made it work.
It was very scary, but just like that, it is 1-1.
All right. Yeah, we're having to see this the movement get used a lot, but at the same time, like as you mentioned, like the pressure from Adroth working out a lot, and Myoro getting hit by a lot of these overheads.
Can y'all see the match? I'm sorry, I can't see the match.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't see it.
Okay, so I think it crashed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a spectator bug. That's all.
A small desync. It happens at times. We'll just get back to it.
Okay, perfect. It didn't.
All good.
Yeah. Okay.
Please select your character.
All right.
Susanoo. Taokaka.
Yeah, moving forward, you know, we got... Man, it's the Tao versus Susan. I'm still surprised at seeing the Taokaka, I'll be honest.
I am extremely happy to see the Tao. This is not a character you see very often.
Now, there are not a ton of Tao players that you often get the chance to see in bracket. They are right now backing off. Both players trying to play the neutral perhaps a little bit slower, but Adroth manages to get that first touch in. Got the orb unlocked. You're going to see a lot of pressure resets off this now. Hopping overdrive. He wants a lot of seals right now.
Wants the seals, wants the damage.
God press, sword unlocked as well, and that level 1 wheel.
Yeah. Hunter's Fang, really nice for the mix, but still not gonna be able to use it considering now you're in a combo. Doesn't have DP unlocked, which is a little bit difficult here. That's some pretty nice damage.
Yeah,
Nice
solid damage, and Myoro's calling out the delay tech a bit more now. Ooh, counter hit JC right now. Adroth is having a hard time getting out of this pressure in general. I'm starting to understand why he's bursting a bit more often. I say this, of course, as he clicks overdrive and doesn't get the rest of the combo. That is tragic. He still did trigger active flow, so he will get his burst back a lot faster. Already at 60%.
Myoro finding another nice hit. This might kill if they popped OD. They're going for it.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, that does a lot of damage there.
Yeah, that, like, Ender would have done a lot less had Myoro not popped the overdrive there to secure the kill.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you do not want to deal with Adroth getting access to more and more resources. Like, he already has his overdrive back towards him.
Myoro at halfway on their overdrive. Pretty nice, but might not get it quite yet.
Good block on the 2D, and that is very punishable, especially on IB. Nice drive usage from Myoro, barely avoiding Adroth's buttons. 6B connects, and Adroth bursts, manages to get him in the corner. Adroth, you're gonna kill him, right? Like Tao's dead, right?
That's already 5K.
Next hit.
But, yep.
If he had level 2 wheel, that was dead. Like, that was just straight up dead.
Dropped it at a pixel.
Yeah, this is gonna be very tense right now. Myoro at set point, active flow, and all of that falls by the wayside. Pillar, it is amazing.
Very nice tool. Covers a lot of airspace.
Really good option on landing right there from Adroth, catching Myoro out with that 5G here. And we're just going to see some standard Susan pressure right now. Opened up with the IATJA. Combo prorated too much, so now you're going to get punished. That is not looking very nice. Myoro, however, definitely having a field day with this one. DP, however, and it's a counter hit. You're getting a follow-up off of that one.
Sword unlocked now. We also have Sand Kick going for the crush.
And Myoro has no barrier to speak of. Forced to pop the overdrive to generate it, but this is going to do a lot of damage. Remember what I was saying about Tao overdrive?
That's crazy amounts of damage already going
into the active flow. 6.2k. That's looking pretty good, I think. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy amounts of damage. Yeah, the life bars are just even now.
Yeah, thankfully Susan naturally also has a ton of health, so the damage race gets that much more annoying for Taokaka. But Myoro finding a hit out of Adroth's pressure. This is set point. It's so tense right now. Myoro's about to get burst back. 100 meter to play with as well.
Adroth for 50 meter. Has to find the right way.
But gets counter hit here. DP available. Counter assault back. Almost no meter on the table. Trying to bait out a reversal option. JA, but nothing more. The 2C.
Oh. The 2C lands, killing Myoro. Adroth taking it in one of our closest sets there.
Yeah, we saw a lot of 2-0s, and that, I would say, is a real good change of events.
Yeah. Wow. And I can't believe that, that really started off super fast with, the 6.2, and then it's just went really scrambly at the end there, but it's scary in those moments.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh no! If y'all aren't doing the Matcherino codes after that match, I don't know what to tell you. We can't help you.
You're bugging.
We can't help you.
You're actually bugging if you're not putting the Matcherino to give players like these more money.
Absolutely.
Like you can't.
Straight up, the Matcherino codes, the sponsor quests, we got so much stuff there. Just click a few buttons. Give these players more money. They deserve it after that.
That will be Adroth moving into top 8, though, as our first participant. Very good stuff to Adroth.
Yeah, very nice.
All right, well, y'all ready for another one?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
Please, more CF. More CF.
Aura Guard and Ereth?
Oh, this one should be interesting. So Aura Guard a year ago was a straight new main. New 13 main, not like a new but they've been playing a lot more Jin lately. I have no idea which character they're going to pick. Actually, speaking of which, I have no idea which character Ereth is going to pick. So it's a huge, who knows, basically. It's a huge question.
Guessing game right now.
Yeah. But, it's a bit of an old guard versus the new guard, or a bit newer to BLAZBLUE in general, and Ereth, who's been playing this game for quite a while now at this point. So it should be an interesting set to see from that perspective.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The winner of this has to deal with Killer Kitty. Oof.
I want to say we're going to see the Jin, but it might still be. We have to really see what the match result is going to be, since you said you never know with Ereth, what they're going to pick.
No idea.
So it's going to be very, very nice. And it's not even as well with Jin and Nu, they play very differently.
Yes,
completely differently. So no matter what type of matchup we get, it will be very interesting to see.
Select your character.
Oh, speaking of the old versus the new, it's gonna be Hakumen versus Jin. Bit of a lore thing, I guess, in terms of timelines.
Who are
Unless
you?
Orgard's
I'm
gonna prove me wrong.
I'm you in armor.
You're gonna make me spit out my water. You can't do that. But yeah, we will be getting the Jin as you were looking forward to versus the Hakumen. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. Jin is very well known for being pretty much a neutral, dominant character. Lots of oppressive buttons. You got a very busted 5C in some ways. Fantastic JC, amazing JB as well. You got 3C for a good sweep. But Hakumen is definitely not in any shortage of bad buttons himself. This character has got a lot of great things to press. So we'll have to see how this one plays
The
out.
wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1.
Interesting to
Action.
see it all unfold here as well, but right now just staying at a clear distance. Finding nice little jump-ins. Counter hit. Not too much quite yet. Finding their nice way in. There's the overhead. Beats purple throw. You're in the corner. Okay, so Orgard has to mash out. Finds a throw of their own. Now you're in the corner. Orgard with 50 meters. That's a good spot for Jin to be. They love their meters. They have OD. So they can change how much damage they do at any time. Then a little bit. You dash into the star. That's not the best.
Yeah, that snowflake was definitely meant to be like a DDP right there. The button that Aura blocked right before it, if you IB it, it's -1, so you can challenge. So I'm a bit surprised you went for it in general, rather than just mashing like 2A. Maybe was worried about like a 6B and that getting like low crushed or something. I'm not too sure. Tried to 6A there, but getting challenged by Ereth.
DP catches
out.
the roll.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh. These DP whiffs are making me tense up so much because if these get punished by Ereth, that's like a 5C overdrive into either GG's or at least like 5K.
Yeah. But just Ereth not finding the punishes quite yet. And Orgard right now finding a nice combo for 3.4. Rushing in, getting snowflake.
Prompting the overdrive out kind of early from Ereth, to be honest. Looked like he wanted to press a drive there. Ooh, it still gets clipped there. Oh,
Yeah.
Bit of an awkward situation right there in general, especially because Ereth overdrives so early into Aura's block string. Nice 3C counter hit. We'll talk about the overdrive a little bit later. Right now, we've got a bit more neutral action to go for. Ereth trying to push Orgard to the ground, but Aura's getting a lot of 3Cs here. Like not even like counter hit 3Cs. Like he's just getting a raw 3C, like a lot. So might see some type of low crushing attempt from Ereth. Could maybe opt for the 623AA. I believe that should be lows as well. Or just like a 2D or Yanagi perhaps, but we'll see what options he might come up with over time. The 3C once again connecting. The follow-up combo not there. Goes for the 6A. Nice cut on the projectile.
It's a little bit easier for the neutral play.
Yeah.
Just nice
And the big
those,
thing,
like, close parts.
and the big thing is that Ereth managed to draw out the overdrive, but it doesn't matter when your air movement gets called out like that. You gotta remember, this is BLAZBLUE, and you're dealing with Jin, right? If someone's catching on to your air movement, especially your momentum, you're gonna get caught out. And that was a bit, I don't think Ereth necessarily needed to take that risk, because he can just back up and passively gain the meter, right? And then just wait for Orgard to do something and then spend it on like a defensive option. But either way, Aura managing to get out that win. And now is up ahead 1-0.
Yeah. Lid saying that Jin is OP, but they're both playing Jin.
Rebel
So easy this way then.
Action.
Yes, indeed.
Now still Orgard finding their way in, but gets counter hit. That was a nice little sweep there. 3.2. Nice
Jumps out.
Yep. Even jumping over the counter as well. 6A, but no RSP to follow up.
Ereth just forced a block here. He's been popping drive a bit more often, but He's not holding it for very long, so Aura's just pressing almost immediately afterwards and getting caught anyway. However, the Yukikaze managing to win out. Doesn't get the follow-up combo though, so can't kill.
Yeah, very close still though. Any small button. Right there, we're just gonna use the sweep. Ereth putting around, staying alive.
Both characters with overdrive. Both, funny enough, having absurdly strong overdrives. Some of the best in the game, straight up, that you're going to see here. More with a solid confirm here. Decent damage as well. 25 meter to play with.
Tried to go,
doesn't work out. Maybe he was looking for a TRM or maybe a throw mix-up attempt and just was a little too fast on the trigger there. Gets the 6A counter it, so it doesn't even need to spend the meter on the combo here. Probably going to go for a mix-up on the ice reset. Goes for the, 5B cross-up J2C. Doesn't quite work out there. Blocks the DDP, but only a 2A for the punish. Probably was expecting Aura to go for that RC there. He managed to draw out the meter from Aura and punish with the 2A just in time. Oh, Agito not quite working out. The overdrive is popped. Do not get hit, otherwise you are exploding. 6A connecting once again, and the J2C just working out. Not sure what Ereth was pressing right there or doing, because it didn't look like a counter hit, and it didn't catch him by the overhead, so don't know.
Do you think popping the OD there was a smart idea, considering there was still going to be another round? That was going to be scary.
I think he didn't need to pop the overdrive like that specifically because he was still in a neutral situation, rather than using it as a confirm or like a big defensive call out when Aura has committed something. Because Jin could definitely just like play it back and not really commit that hard. So, trying to go for the mix up and the throw. Aura is very wise to it. Great tech.
Still doing nicely here.
Up
Seven counter hit. Finding the throw. We kill right here. OD. Not even needed.
Yeah.
Putting one on the board.
1-1 now. So yeah, the big thing here, honestly, is that for one reason or another, what I'm noticing most glaringly is that Ereth's drives are not working out very consistently. Like, there's a lot of situations in which he goes for it and he's almost correct, but either he doesn't hold it or Aura like does something kind of weird and it just doesn't quite work out. The Yukikazes, though, really consistent. Like almost all of them have worked out basically. So, that's good. Aura with the DP right there, gets the throw.
Nice. Doesn't have all too much near, but after the 6A gets a nice throw counter. These small resets are just going to add up to a lot more. Actually, I say small, but that was 3.7 with the 6A RC, but not continuing it on. One more hit.
Aura, and Aura again, and Aura, like, showing off a lot of what Jin can do, especially with the life lead, right? Just fade back JC and then 5C to close it out. His C normals are very big, so he's got a lot to play with in terms of just playing keep away or pressing an advantage or taking it easy on the life lead. There it is again, right? Tries to go for the 2D there and just gets 6A. He's been eating almost every single 6A from Aura so far. One thing that you can do to deal with that, if you are getting 6A a lot by Jin, is just watching your meter. A lot of times, you can catch Jins getting a bit more predictable with using 6A when they have 50 meter, because that's the only way they get big confirms out of it, outside of counter hit. So, like, right now, I would be expecting Aura to go for a 6A, like, more frequently than, like, beforehand. Ereth trying to get in, but just using up a lot of stars for it. Trying to go forward a bit here, forcing the burst out of Aura. Gets the air throw here. Ereth does have burst. Are we going to see a bait? No. Tries to get the first single hit J2 on 4D. Even then, I don't think that would have killed. Aura does not have access to active flow, and Hakumen has a ton of health. One of the highest in the game. Counter hit 4C. Doesn't get the follow-up awkwardly, but closes it up still. Yeah, unfortunately, that burst from Aura, I disagree with it. I don't think it was very good. Putting him at a big disadvantage right now. Look at him, just forced to walk back. And if you're Hakumen, oh, it looks like there was a desync. Yeah. So I think we were desynced on the spectator side.
Yeah.
All good. But yeah, that's just one of the things that you can kind of see sometimes is that, like, if the burst comes in late and it doesn't work out in your favor, that's not good. And even when it does work out in your favor, you lose a lot of advantage early in the round. So it can be kind of awkward.
That's also another thing I was thinking about asking. You had mentioned that that Jin OD is like extremely strong, but I don't think we actually ever saw Orgard go for it. Like,
we didn't see a single OD from Aura.
Yeah.
Nope. Didn't see a single one.
Based on the desync choreography, I think Orgard won, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll have them report the score.
Yeah. They might also be like chatting, talking in the stream chat as well. So
yeah.
A couple places to look at.
Ereth, who won? But it looked like Orgard was getting more desync combos than Ereth was. So usually that's a teller.
Sorry, I'm looking at
Ereth won. Look at that. I was wrong.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Very close set.
Very well.
Going pretty solidly. Moving on for the rest of our bracket, we've got. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
no. They ran into each other again. It's been ages since I've seen this, but oh man. This is a frequent thing to happen.
This is Susan Myoro, right?
Susanoo, Adroth versus Icecool.
I'm gonna love trying to keep track of seals. That's the
it's
best.
less that and more that these players absolutely hate this matchup, and they used to run into each other all the time at the Boston Blue weeklies.
Oh, that's even better.
So like, they'd be like, "Jesus Christ, we gotta do this."
Well, you got to run into your friends at some point in the
Tuesday.
bracket. Yep. But that will be our next match. This is the start of top 8 officially as well.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, we've actually already got some of the some people in the lower half of our top 8.
I can look at that in a second.
Yeah. Currently, we have Zen, which was honestly pretty expected, but we also have Squidward.
Yes, Myoro just messaged and said he had to DQ. So unfortunately, gets the -1 of shame.
Pain,
Yes,
womp womp.
unfortunate. Wanted to see more of that Taokaka, potentially some of the Relius.
Would have loved it.
Yeah, we got Oni versus Remains to get in there. Zen did make it over the spine. And then Orgard, who just got knocked down, has to play against a Joker for that last slot. Lots of good matches down there, too. Unfortunately, we don't want to be here till 2 a.m., so we can't show them all.
Yes. It is what it is. We want to get you guys matches quickly.
That's right.
Oh, it goes.
We only have 2 Matcherino codes left, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but big ups to the chat for using those codes in a timely fashion at the start of top 8.
Yeah, y'all are getting way better at going through Matcherino.
Absolutely.
I swear, it's almost like every other bracket. I'm like, oh, it's been 30 minutes. Let's check the Matcherino. Oh, it's almost done.
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes. WASD crew knows about Matcherino. Okay. But I'll let these two get started. This slugfest of a match.
Should be interesting. It's been a while since I've seen these two play against each other. It's been a while since I've caught Icecool at an online bracket. I don't know which ones he's been playing in, but it's been a while since I've like tuned into a stream and he was on basically. So I think it'll be interesting. Looks like he's still been at it. I mean, you know, it is Susanoo, Indiana Slammer versus Canada's finest. There's not much more to really comment on it. One thing that will be interesting to look at throughout the match is tracking the seals is going to be hard sometimes for spectators. I understand it is what it is, but looking at the different ways in which they use the same seals and kind of maneuver through, as well as the different play styles they have, are always it's always a treat to me, in my opinion. Despite these players hating it, that makes it funnier, to be honest.
So I actually wanted to ask, since you mentioned that they always seem to meet, who's usually the one that comes out, or is it like almost dead even?
I believe it's like a 60% in favor of Icecool. It'd be hard for me to pull up the data. And I think it's been a while since these two have run into each other as well. So Not sure if there's going to be any differences or things that are unusual in terms of sets between them. Oh, yeah. Either that or maybe we'll just see like 30 billion 6As in a row. Who knows?
Yeah.
Susanoo.
So for the 526th run back of these two, in so long, we are going to be seeing probably the Susanoo mirrors. We've already got one locked in, so unless the other one wants to make a swap. Nope.
Okay,
Oh,
there
we're
we
gonna
go.
be on for that.
Sometimes Icecool pulls up the brackets and then just like decides to play the Ragna or Terumi. I'll just be like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
My God.
I don't want to deal with this mirror. I'm just gonna boot up Ragna.
It's not even always in the mirror, but I think it's just bracket to bracket thing. Couldn't tell you.
Never know what goes on in the minds of the players.
The Wheel of Fate is
All right, here we go.
Rebel 1. Action.
Winner semis here for WASD, BBCF, and 3 6Bs, and it's not even been 10 seconds. 4 6, 5 6Bs, 6 6Bs. Can I get a 7 6Bs?
And so we just ODEA to go through it. I ain't dealing with these 6Bs. I don't want it.
There's 2 6As, 3 6As, 4 6As. Oh my God, no! No, I don't want to play counting games, guys, please.
It's just gonna be a
Jesus
battle of
Christ.
6 buttons. Like that's just gonna be it. Like,
Oh my God, somebody please at me on Twitter with that clip. That one is, oh God.
it's the best.
That's the trigger now. Grand Viper going to send Adroth to the corner. Both have DP unlocked. Let's see what we've got. Just a simple throw for your opener.
Finding
Nothing
Grand
crazy for
Viper
the
again.
confirm.
Still doing like really nice damage, especially with the Hunter's Fang there. This does a lot. 3.7.
Yeah,
You have
almost
the jab
just as importantly, yeah, Icecool's got a lot of seals unlocked for mix and combos, so cleans it up very quickly there.
Rebel 2.
Yeah, I think that the tempo in this
Oh
mirror
my God. We're already cleared. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, that's the orb. Adroth resets pressure and backs off.
yeah.
Might
I
look
think
for a seal unlock soon.
The tempo on like getting the seals is like what really matters in this mirror, huh?
Yeah, you can definitely see the shifts in momentum depending on the offensive situation falling up. That is an unfortunate drop right there.
Yep. Now you let your opponent get the Grand Viper.
Adroth getting that dash up 2B, but no follow-up right there. Didn't get the confirm, it looks like. Icecool getting wheeled, gets DP as well. You see the DP from Adroth though. Icecool trying to bait it out. 6C whiffs, he's 6C'd again? What are you doing?
If I 3C OD popped here, gonna unlock so many seals and the damage.
Oh my goodness, the GC counter right there. Counter assault, there it is. Good IVs right now. Just holding forward, not gonna fold to the Grand Viper RC mix. Icecool bursts out, wants to close it. The late hit on the Grand Viper, good tech on the throw. Counter assault coming up soon.
So close.
There it is again. If you're Icecool, you're probably gonna smoke out that counter assault in the next game. Oh, but the trade right there. We are moving on to the next game already.
That was a trade of like both players, like JC, right? Like that's just the hive mind. Oh,
I don't know. I've not seen them like 6B each other that many times in a row. That was like a legitimate meme like at play.
Wheel of Fate is
6B and 6A.
Rebel 1.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Now start 6B. OD, EA. Yep,
Yeah,
this
from
is just how
Icecool.
we're gonna deal with it.
You do what you gotta do. Gets the early active flow, so probably not gonna get the chance to cash out on a
God,
ton.
but it's already
Press.
But the
You tried
OD
to 6D on someone. Okay, that is interesting to me. Derogatory, but it's an interesting thing of Icecool's gameplay. I'll bring it up a bit later. Gets the 40 right now. Adroth does have wheel available, and orb just a little far for the confirm there. Probably was trying to get orb and then just accidentally got throw from like their mash attempt there. Good challenge right there on the 6C.
Rapid on the spin.
And then nice backing off now. Saying each other. Relatively common to see in Susan mirrors.
Both are about to have OD. Actually, Adroth already getting it. But right now, Icecool with the 100 meter has access to a lot of things. OD getting popped from Adroth. Nice jump over the DP. Gonna use the Grand Viper. Has 50 meter now as well. This is a lot of damage, but it probably won't kill. Unless we're gonna go for reset.
Oh, I know that makes sense. Hold on 1 second. Counter assault, and there's that bait on the counter assault. Remember, he kept using counter assault continuously. Icecool hadn't baited it out yet, but waits for that exact situation again to bait out the CA.
Really nice option to bait out. There's the OD. No EA this time, just gonna go for the combo. Unlocking the Grand Viper and Sand Kick. Will not unlock yet. Eventually finding their counter.
Yeah, it looks like Adroth was expecting the combo to keep going, just wasn't holding the tech. Or didn't want to deal with an awkward like tech into a reset situation. Icecool has a lot to play with here. And look at how the 6Bs are chunking out the barrier, forcing out the OD from Adroth, but OD on Susan 6B is not a fun time. Not sure if he actually intended on getting the seal unlock super there. It's a charge motion, in fact.
Yeah, it's a flash kick, right?
Yeah, it's like you charge 2 and then it's up and D. So I don't know if he actually even wanted that in the first place. Icecool, however, definitely wanted to get that hit with the pillar and manages to close it up right there. 2-0, looking real solid.
Very nicely done for Icecool there. The Susan Hive Mind has been won by Icecool.
Yes, now they will propagate onto losers. But yeah, one of the big things I want to point out here, as we're just like kind of looking through this replay, God, that ending was pretty fun to watch. I won't lie. Oh God, like, and then just backs up and then goes for the wheel. Like, look at that. That was sick. That was sick.
Yeah, that wheel meaty, like safe versus, I'm sure DP and probably anything else Adroth could have tried to do there. Super sick.
So I'll be a nerd here for a moment. The DP, if Adroth went for it, would have clashed with the pillar because it's a projectile property. And the pillar is a projectile. If the DP hit on time, yeah, it would have clashed, and then God knows what happens afterwards. It's in God's hands. But yeah, one of the things I kind of want to highlight in that set and compliment Icecool for was their ability to notice a lot of Adroth's habits. Icecool, as a tournament player, is very good at picking up on your habits, what you want to do, what you're looking for, and then capitalizing on it. And we saw, very clearly, especially with the counter assaults, every time Adroth had about 100 or like 70 or 60 meter, he would opt for the counter assault there. Icecool gets that one bait on it and then closes out a round off of it. These are the type of interactions that matter very greatly because it can decide whether or not you win the set and move forward, or if you were knocked out of the tournament entirely. But just to kind of like highlight and focus on that a bit. The other thing as well was Icecool's ability to minimize Adroth's momentum in the beginning of each of their rounds, right? We consistently would see an early overdrive in the EA, or maybe a good mash, or they would back off, and then they would find a way to get their game plan started before Adroth, which is very good in the mirror in general. And we're going to see some of that concept play out here in this matchup as well. S is an absolute neutral monster, right? Super big buttons, great projectiles. Hakumen, however, gets to nullify your projectiles and also has some big buttons of his own and very excellent counterplay to certain situations. Plus, he gains meter passively. So Killer Kitty is going to be forced to make certain engagements to avoid Ereth from gaining a lot of meter passively and cashing out in big ways, or getting meter to eventually kind of just rush down for a moment with mix-ups. So.
And I actually want to ask about the projectile part you mentioned. So you see it right there. You can like break the one projectile. You can also change like the timings and the angles for those. How does that affect like breaking the projectiles at all?
Oh, so
the
generally to explain like Hakumen's mechanic a bit, every sword normal he does can cut projectiles, right? Anything that's projectile property can cut it, including Susan's DP, by the way. So S has 2 projectiles, right? In the air they have different angles, but on the ground they have different timings. One comes out later than the other. So we may see Killer Kitty alter their What? It was that mix. I'm so sorry. We'll talk about that later. What in God's name was that cross under? Gets the cross up, JB. Ereth unfazed and still X out the round, but Jesus Christ. Okay. I have not seen that one before.
Went under. I guess that's one way to play around the cutting and everything. Just go behind them.
That was just something else. I'm not gonna lie. That was something else. So yeah, to get back to it, the Killer Kitty may alter the timing on their projectiles in order to counter Ereth for trying to cut projectiles proactively with certain moments. The problem though is that as long as Hakumen cuts one projectile, that orb that pops up will nullify other projectiles and make contact with it. So, yeah.
So it is quite strong for helping them out in the neutral. But in these combos, it's
I was about to say, well, that's irrelevant when you're just getting hit.
Yeah, because that was just a sweep and a half. Very nicely done for Killer Kitty there. And as we know,
they smoked them. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah. S, when you put them in the corner, oh god, nice counter. But when S puts you in the corner, you're getting like mixed and put into so many different like types of Oki situations. It's really hard to handle.
Yeah, Hakumen at the very least gets to play defensive RPS pretty much the best out of the task, but that only means so much when you can still get instant JC. With Overdrive, Killer Kitty can actually kill here. Not sure if he's going to go for that optimization or not. With the JTB, or maybe wanted to go for Crest OP, untoo sure. But either way, drawing out the Overdrive from Ereth is so good. That kills his momentum so much. And with a simple 6B, taking the game.
Killer Kitty doing really nicely there. Showing off some interesting stuff that game.
Yeah, for sure. Showing off some pretty cool tech.
Wonder how Ereth will fire back on all this.
I'm not too sure. There's been a lot of situations in which I think Ereth would benefit from sticking to system, just defensive system mechanics instead of opting necessarily for the drive. Because there's certain cases in which they either get thrown or they get hit by an overhead, and it counter hits them for trying to go for the drive. But we'll see it happen over time. Killer Kitty, however, forced to burst quite early here. Gets caught by the JVB there. It is a massive button, but it also extends S's hurt box, so we want to play around that. But I think Ereth is going through neutral in a very fantastic way. They're opting to just cut for the most part, get their meter passively, and just work within it. And you're probably dead. You might be dead. Actually, no. That was a tragic draw.
That's, bad drop into the DP as well, just waiting out the time, and Killer Kitty finding their way in. Yeah.
It's 4 stars, so Ereth does have counter assault or Yukikaze available, but see if he goes for it. Try to go for the 6D there. No dice.
Still one hit away at anything. Yep.
And that's the big thing, right? Yeah. That's the big thing, right? You saw Killer Kitty use the projectiles there. I've been talking shit about the projectiles this entire set, right? But when you are nearly about to close out the round, that does not really matter as much. Especially when the Hakumen doesn't have a drive available to catch him.
Yeah.
So you can go for these little chips and just kill. Just to kind of highlight the different situations in which... Actually, yeah, you can use your projectile. Ooh, good counter right there, but the DPs from Killer Kitty are working out so well. Yeah.
Going through everything. Nice combo for this too. Sets up the JD, does it twice. 3 times right there. Just gonna try to go for all types of mix. Finding Bulba stomps. Oh, and there's the JC. Look at that.
Drops the combo, but still has pressure.
Yeah, and still the projectile,
like
I mentioned, does nice. All of the stars for Ereth, but can you find even a way in? No, you can't. Killer Kitty taking it 2-0 over Ereth.
Yeah, playing very cleanly right there. To kind of highlight a few things in that set that I think are very important to note. one of the big things was that despite Ereth being able to cut a lot of the projectiles, he had a very hard time actually either getting in or getting his pressure consistent and continuous. He would cut a projectile, gain the meter, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's like really good. And then Killer Kitty would still get a hit with the JB. Or maybe they would get in with a 2B. Or they still found a way to like set up for crests and all that. Which, side note, that's actually really, really cool. Like, S has to ride around her crest Oki way differently against Hakumen. The TLDR is that Hakumen Drive catches projectiles, and as long as he catches something, he is fully invulnerable. So if you give him enough time in between hits on your mix-ups, then he actually gets to use his drive, invuln through it, and then say, actually, I hate everything you stand for, and hit you for it. So you would see, like, on Killer Kitty's Oki, how they would route it such that it was meant to continue their pressure and extend it, rather than open up a specific mix-up. So, just to kind of highlight that a bit more on some of the things that Killer Kitty was doing. It would have been a bit more interesting to see if Ereth could find ways to maybe proactively hit, you know, Killer Kitty's JBB attempts, but I'm not sure what fast buttons Hakumen has to necessarily deal with that. Just as like maybe points of reference that might be interesting for those watching a VOD or studying.
Yeah.
So we'll move along with the bracket.
Yep, we're going to go into our top 8 losers now. This is going to be Oni versus Squidward. Myoro did have to DQ, called into work, so Squidward did advance. Squidward just played in our recent beginner bracket and did pretty well, got top 3. So,
That's wonderful.
Yeah, pretty good, solid understanding of, you know, the game plan. But now, fighting Oni, very strong Ragna.
Yeah,
he might get
player.
He might get smoked.
Yes, also a bullet player. So drop some tips. Drop some tips. This is a beginner, intermediate bullet player.
In this, I hate playing against Oni, and Oni has a lot of experience against my bullet. So, okay. In this matchup, the first thing you do as bullet is you unironically you smash 2B like a lot. 2B low profiles a lot of Ragna's common pokes in general. Like for example, 5B at mid range, 2B will like low profile it cleanly. It also leads to situations where bullet will low profile moves like Ragna 6D. Don't ask me why. But that has happened multiple times. Either way though, this is a matchup that OniNYC is very familiar with. And popping that burst early as bullet is not something you necessarily want to do because her overdrive is extremely stupid as a robbery factor. You know, Terumi is probably the most well-known overdrive character that relies on overdrive and rob you, but bullet does it also very strongly. Trying to use the JD in order to catch the rolls there, but that only really works there on the DP Oki. That was an absurd clash. Okay, I don't have anything for that one. I'll be honest. Yeah, it's the JA there. Good job from OniNYC. Trying to keep. Oh, the cross up ID DP. I absolutely hate to eat it, but love to watch it. But yeah, that was a fast round, huh?
Very fast, yes.
Yes. The JA from Oni is very relevant here, and you're going to see it a lot in their air interactions due to the way how Bullet likes to alter her air momentum, especially if she does not have heat yet. You're already seeing the proactive air throws here, right? The air throw there will beat out Bullet's JD if she latches onto him. Ooh, that was a bold 3C. That's body invuln. That's a big gamble, but it leads to a ton of damage. Forcing you to burst out Oni is really good here. But that's the main problem that I'm seeing here with this matchup already, is that Squidward is trying to move through the air in this fashion, but it's very predictable. There's the JA once again. You got to remember, Ragna JA is an absurd air-to-air tool, and you will not usually see players use it enough. It's that good. Great air throw as well, calling out all of these JD air stalls, and then just IDing in with the JC. Gonna take Squidward to the corner. All it will take is one little safe jump and a combo to finish this up. Does he even need it? Yeah, he does. Bullet's got above average health to work with, trying to go for the reversal 720, but he's seen it time and time before. Oni showing a lot of mastery in this matchup already.
As we mentioned, Squidward is indeed one of our beginner intermediates. They're still getting stuff down, so I understand they wanted to go for a lot more of their mobility, which they feel more comfortable with, especially considering they love to do their to just hold JD a lot, so they can hold down a lot of like neutral presence.
Yes.
But it's a little hard to do when you have someone that has like this type of mastery against Bullet and such. Like just finding this, that was like a 5B, and they did 4K. Oh, yeah.
So the big thing, hold on, going for the, try to go for the mix-up right there. There's the 5B. See how dumb that shit is? It's so dumb. I'm sorry for cussing. I love this character so much. Gets the cross-up right there. Kasha's out on the heat. Can get to heat again if they want to. Goes for it again. Tried to command throw, but Oni will DP you if he's feeling himself. If you can't show those like options against that layer, he will walk all over you. Backdash is waiting out the defensive option from Squidward, just playing it safely because he has the neutral tools to beat out Bullet right there, cleaning it up right there after that blood scythe. Right now, Oni at set point gets counter hit by the JC. Let's see what we've got for a follow-up. This is gonna probably loop. No, okay, got the throw just barely. Onikage rolls out. Gets the 6E and backs off. That usually ends a lot of Bullet's pressure at the 5B at range, though. And he's not going to get a ton of damage out of this unless he optimizes pretty smoothly. That's a nice 4K for his trouble. And just walking back, that's a very good solution against the JD there as well. You don't have to engage against it if you don't want to. Gets the 2B there, hitting from so far at range. Gets DP'd out afterwards, though. Don't really, Bullet doesn't really have strong Oki after that Nikole capture, that command throw there. She wanted to get the follow-up there afterwards, but wasn't close enough to the corner. First to burst again, gets the read on the throw, but you don't have a lot of reward without heat there. Gonna go directly into super, but spend all the heat, but it's still good Oki here. Very plus after this knockdown. Probably gonna 3C, but does not work out. And that should be it. Just a simple devoured by darkness to close the set from Oni.
And Oni taking it 2-0 over Squidward. Honestly, I still gotta say, that was pretty nice for Squidward. They almost took a few rounds there. They do pretty good damage, and they made their hits count, which at the very least is really good to see.
Yeah. So, oh God, I can talk about that matchup to death. So let's talk about Bullet JD briefly, because that was kind of like the main thing that we kept seeing in neutral, and we kept seeing it lose.
Before you do that, I don't mean to cut you off, because I feel like you can talk about Bullet JD for a while.
No, deadass feel free. No.
Yeah,
say what you gotta say.
I just want to shout out the match arena. We did finish the code, so big ups to everybody in the chat, but you can still directly contribute with sponsor quests, as well as a direct contribution. If we can get this pot to $150, we will pay out top 4. These are some of our stretch goals. So we'll pay out top 4 if we can get it to 150, and if we can get it all the way to 320, I think it is, we pay out top 6. So a lot of really strong folks are playing today. If you like what you see, please consider, if you got a match arena balance, chuck it in there. If you haven't done the sponsor quest yet, chuck it in there. We would appreciate it. All right, back to you.
Well, yeah. So yeah, just to talk about the matchup a bit. So JD is a very strong button. Despite how much we saw it lose, it's actually extremely good. It's very dumb, in fact. I will say that straight up. When Bullet has heat, when she's glowing, that's invuln during the travel, by the way. But players can still move around it and use air throw, so that's why you saw a lot of like air throw from Oni, and that's why you saw a lot of like proactive JAs in order to catch them out. The other thing about JD is that it uses all of Bullet's air options. So she's unable to air dash or double jump afterwards, but she can still hit a button while she falls down. So that's why you saw a lot of times Squidward would jump up, air dash, JD to try to alter momentum, and then fall down with a button, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are getting very predictable about that, and you don't believe in your ground movement as Bullet, which is hard because she can't, like, traditionally dash barrier. She has a step dash. If you are not confident in doing that, you're going to get smoked in the air, especially by someone that knows what they're doing against the character. And when you're forced to burst, you also lose a lot of your comeback factor, because Bullet Overdrive is dumb as well. Like you can smoke people off of that overdrive. But it all varies based on the opportunities that you manage to get, of course. But either way, I hope that Squidward's not discouraged, because that matchup, it requires some time to get used to some of the kinks, especially when you when you see someone that's like, why do you have a response for this? Why do you have a response for this? What's going on here, right? So
especially considering like that was a a veteran player for the most part. Like, Oni is extremely good. Like, so really, you should not get discouraged. The fact that you got even anywhere close is like a really good step of progress. Like, I want to see Squidward play more and do well.
Please select
really
your
nice
character.
But yeah.
Ragna, the
But right now, we're going to be having Beauregard versus Zen. So we're going to be seeing, I guess, another lore battle of the brothers here.
Yes, indeed, a classic. So fun to see. One thing that I kind of want to point out that I feel like I haven't really pointed out much. I want to talk about this maybe a bit later or some other time, but keep in mind that these players that you're seeing right now are likely going to CEO Taku. So you will get the chance to like see more of these players over time, and these weeklies are very important to get that practice in, to watch what the players are doing and see these stories develop, right? So I just want to highlight, you know, these weeklies from WASD a lot because they matter very greatly in sort of seeing how, you know, people shift or change over time, right? And we'll talk about a couple other like CF events going on as well as we lead into, you know, the next major. But right now, we got Oregon versus Zen with Jaeger in the background. God, I love the song.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
All right. Started off. Actually, just going to be going for a nice little sweep with Beauregard. DP already for Zen. Just going to be fearless with that. First for Zen already being spent here. Beauregard still finding the way back in no matter what. The counter hit going into the snowflake right there. Continuing the combo. This will do pretty nice damage.
And from here, Aura really does not need to push the issue right there. Just playing it calmly and then getting the air throw right there. Very good play from them.
They didn't have to spend all too much. They still have OD on the table. Nice jump back, catching the... I forget what that one
There is the 5D anti-air. We're going to see it more and more over time. Didn't get a lot of reward off of it that time, but you can see it, like, especially being relevant in situations where somebody has spent their air actions and is just kind of a sitting duck to fall down. Good feedback, JC gets the 6A. There it is again, right? 50 meter to play with, so gets the reward off of it as well. Gonna go for a mix-up. Yep, gets the throw this time. Forcing the burst out of Zen early once again. Tries to go for the air throw, gets caught out despite the air backdash attempt. Bursting themselves as well. 60 fatal, it's not a lot of damage, but it's certainly a knockdown and some life gain back for Zen. Aura's gonna have 50 meter to play with for a reversal option here. Are we gonna see anything? Nope. We'll just get smoked by the counter hit 5B.
The life gain for Ragna makes things really tense because at any point you could just swing the life deficit back in your favor.
Yeah, it's extremely important when it comes to like overdrive. But given that Ragna has low health to compensate for the lifesteal, it means that if Zen loses momentum and Beauregard gets the chance to smother them and they are forced to burst, you're not going to see a ton of lifesteal in the set generally.
Right.
Locked 6B, but not the...
Yeah. Zen now an active flow as well. So building up some more fatal hit. Yep, you just gotta burst that. Got low health. There's the 6A rapid. Gonna get some nice reward off this, but still Beauregard has no amount of meter otherwise. Enough for the snowflake though.
Zen about to pop. Zen has burst as well. Confident in this one, not popping the burst. Wake up OD? No, just decides to walk and sit. Tries to go for the IAD. Or opting his zone out. 40 seconds on the clock. There's a lot of BLAZBLUE left. Should they opt for it? But the overdrive into air DP. Zen, you madman. I will never, ever understand your line of thinking, but by God, it's so fun to watch.
Very risky there, but it still works out in Zen's favor. I do really enjoy the idea that they waited to pop that OD just so they can like use it when they feel like the time is right, rather than like, oh, Aura can actually have like the option to back off here and then like just wait it out.
Yeah, I think like most relevantly as well, there's the 5D. I don't know what the heck just hit him. I think it was JA. That was weird. But
the downward button, so like maybe like JTC.
I don't know. Wow, I'm shocked that the fade back JC hit there like that. Gauntlet Hades does move Ragna forward, and Jin extends his hurt box, like widens his hurt box when he goes for the JC. So if you're close enough to Jin and he tries to fade back JC, you can actually catch him out with like an air button or even an air throw if they're getting very predictable.
Yeah,
nice counter at GTC there. Backing off, trying to bait out the DP in a big way, but we might see that work to bite Aura in the butt later on, actually. But for now, it's all Zen right now. Got the knockdown on the Nightmare Edge. Beauregard pushing themselves out, setting up the Snowflake. Zen is unfazed, just gets out of there nice and cleanly. Nice fuzzy jump on the Gauntlet Hades as well, but they're unblockable 5D. Gotta hold the barrier.
Beauregard still does have OD. I wonder if we're going to be seeing that get popped at all. We're going to be getting a nice throw.
Drops the combo there. 100 meter. There's the reversal super.
And very nice going through the Snowflake.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Set point?
Yeah, he's at set point. That's a big thing with Jin. If they're a common like pressure string that you'll see across like a lot of Jins is that they'll do like 3C Snowflake to continue pressure, but that Snowflake actually has a big gap and it's pretty reactable. The other thing too is that you'll know it's coming when Jin has like 25 meter or more. So it's that much more predictable, you know? So if you're watching for it, you can punish it like that. So you may see that a bit more depending on how much Aura autopilot's in the Snowflake. Zen unfazed with this pressure. You can tell that he's just feeling very calm on defense here. Pops the burst in order to stay alive. The 5D clashes with Jin JC. Barely getting the hits here. No overdrive available. Getting a bit of health so he can, you know, deal with the scrambler too. He's not going to die to a DP instantly. Gets the air tech. Catches the neutral tech with the 5D here. And Beauregard is blocking the crap out of these Gauntlet Hades. Zen is starting to get a bit more predictable with it. Hopefully we'll get the chance to see Zen maybe take their turn or steal their turn a bit more when Aura's expecting the Gauntlet Hades or something. But we'll have to see how this plays out over time.
You know, I'm still really wondering about Aura's OD usage. They mostly just use it for burst, and for the most part, it still somewhat works out for them. They do take the games and everything, but I'm really wondering, like, if they should be using it any differently or not. Like, what do you think?
So, in my opinion, Zen is a player that can get caught by accidentally that can get caught committing very heavily in BLAZBLUE. So if you wait out certain situations, and especially when you have OD available to punish them, speaking of which, like that, like exactly, honestly, you can get a big punish and, you know, clean up like that, and just clean it up around or so. Additionally, you have to show the OD on defense to get people's offense, you know, to settle down a bit. If you're showing the defensive overdrives enough, people are not going to make as many risks on offense, and you don't have to deal with nearly as much mixed.
Yeah.
So those are some ways in which I could see him using overdrive more. It's a good question. Popping the Snowflake again after the 3C. Zen not opting to TP out of that. He's a bit later, gets the complete. Yeah.
Miami hits. Really nice. They're trying to find their way back in.
But there's the Nightmare Edge. And this should be death right now, taking them both to set point.
Yeah. And Zen hitting active flow around the end there. Gets back to 70% of their burst.
Yep.
But OD is available for Beauregard. So pretty nice.
Let's see right now. Backing off right now, or trying to find a situation in which Zen is going to commit to an air normal and stuff him for it, but getting caught by that 6D right there. Very good at baiting throws and foot property moves like 2A mashes and 2Bs. Goes for the air tech 5D, or doesn't bite on it. Gets a 2C though, wow.
Still
has no follow up there. Manages to get it off of the whiff 2D. There's the 5B, hops over it. Snowflake is set, and once again, yeah, now Zen is starting to read a lot better on Aura's offensive habits and is challenging much more successfully. There's a Snowflake again. You can tell that Zen was trying to press something there, getting hit like that. Beauregard does have active flow as well. Zen forced to burst there. If Aura clicked OD, he could very well die. Speaking of which, does he have it? There. Is it gonna kill? Is it gonna kill? No, way off. Definitely didn't want to get the 6C right there, but try to confirm off of it and kill anyway. That's an awkward situation. Zen with 100 meter to play with, or just has to play just like that to clean up and take the set. That's the thing. And, you know, that ending is very reminiscent to what we've been seeing from Beauregard and Jin in general, right? You see the ways in which once Beauregard has the life lead, they just back off a bit. They cover space, they back off, they throw their air normals, and then they let their opponent hang themselves. That's something that's very important. You see the JCs here, and as well as just the 5C, not really overcommitting. They have such a big lead. Zen has a lot of meter to play with. There's no need to force the issue like super heavily.
Yeah. A lot of the time, it's scary because most people think like, oh, I didn't kill. I'm now giving them a chance to come back. Like, I need to make this happen right now. I need to finish this out. But yeah, oftentimes your opponent is just as like shook up about that. So you can just let them try to do something and just call out whatever they want.
Yeah,
so
and again, you know, BLAZBLUE, when you get to higher levels, is all about how much you can force commitment out of other people and how much you can get away with not committing yourself. And if you play around these things and you play around these player habits, you can find yourself getting some pretty good rewards there. I do find it entertaining that it was like the last game where it felt like it clicked for Aura on their defensive overdrive usage, which I think was something that was very big, and I think that was honestly one of the major differences in why Beauregard won. Zen got a couple of really good OD confirms, but there were a lot of situations in which Aura managed to get a burst out of him, and Ragna without a burst is also loses out on so much damage, loses out on a huge comeback factor as well, loses a lot of survivability. There's a lot that's just not quite there if you use that burst, or if you're in a position where you're forced to burst. But moving on, I keep talking about how good OD is, but pretty much almost every single character in this top 8 here have strong overdrives. And speaking of which, Ereth is back on the screen with more Ragna in the form of Oni.
Yeah. So once again, two characters with very strong ODs. Like, we know that like Hakumen OD can just lead to extreme damage by giving him like tons of shine, like the already massive like passive meter gain. Ragna as well with the healing can just come back from large deficits, and comeback factor on that is immense.
Yeah. Nice 6A here from Taokaka. Manages to take Ereth all the way to the corner, gets the throw, and this is looking real good for him already. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with Hakumen, no matter how much damage you do, it's not over until that burst is used or that man is dead.
Yeah. Would you say that Hakumen has like one of the most robbery, or actually
yes,
you mentioned hitting before, but yeah, Hakumen as well.
Yeah, the top 3 like robbery ODs in this game. Nice catch on the delay tech there from Oni. Ragna gets to OS for that, more or less. Or actually, hold on. Don't hold me to that sentence. I should test that before I say that. The top 3 robbery ODs in this game are probably just straight up like Terumi, Bullet, and like Hakumen. Hakumen OD is very well known in this game for like letting him hit some of the highest damage ceilings, like straight up. Oni once again calling out a lot of these delay techs, by the way, by Ereth. The big thing with catching out the delay tech with T2C like that is that it allows for Ragna to safe jump you afterwards. So you don't really like eat a ton of extra damage, but Ragna's offense is that much more like safer afterwards, basically. Awkward tech situation right there. Ereth getting caught out by the Hell's Fang, maybe was trying to fuzzy jump and then got caught in jump startup by it, forced to pop the overdrive here. That's a whole 8 seconds, but that don't matter when you're already dead.
go with that. Oni taking one game up on Ereth there.
Yeah, looking pretty good so far.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, you can also look good if you check out that StanTech Gang hoodies and shirts. Let me tell you, there's some fashionable. You can be a very fashionable person in the FGC with one of those. But let's move on to game 2 here of this set. Nice 2A challenge right now from Ereth.
Overhead, taking it nice and slow, just keeping your pressure up. Backed off a little bit. Nice air counter. Now Oni has their pressure there. There's the counter hit going into the Gauntlet Hades. The pressure here is like what really starts things. The dash counter though, very nice. Counter hit again. There pops the OD. That's a lot of damage. Goes into the EA. That kills. Ereth putting a round on the board, staying alive.
Yeah, opting to spend the resource, just wants to close it, does not want to give Oni any chance whatsoever. He wants to get on that board and maintain on and stay that way.
But Oni is still finding the first hit. Getting a really nice chunk too.
Yeah. Trying to see if Ereth is varying his defensive options there. You saw early in game 1 how he was using a lot of the 2-2C. Didn't opt for it there. Probably was looking to see if Ereth was going to either quick rise or maybe regular tech or something else.
Nice air counter hit. Ereth blocking the DP, but the RC keeps Oni safe and gets them a nice juicy combo here.
Overdrive is available now for Oni, and in active flow, this next hit could be big. Doesn't have the resources for it, but again, calling out all these delay techs, using
And
the
the
5A
roll.
in order to check for the emergency tech, and then just smartly 2Bing on reaction to the roll.
Oni set point. Really close.
Ooh!
Nice throw for Ereth. This means a lot. Just take him to the corner. Tried to go for a air throw, it seems. Nice overhead there.
Oh my goodness.
Counter on the parry right there. Oni finding their way in. Now we're going to be seeing about some pressure. Nice smash for Ereth.
Ereth opting to take the superior positioning right here. Whiffs the 6B though. This is going to be a lot of health back and solid damage right here for Oni if he gets this route. 6B is devoured by darkness. No 6B needed. Give me that health back, friend.
5.2 and the life lead just swings like that.
However,
Nice.
we've got overdrive available.
Yeah, overdrive
Let me
and
tell you
active
something.
flow. This is
Here
a
we go.
lot of damage.
Not enough for the super. Still gets the EA with the active flow.
That
Just barely doesn't kill. Send that off the Sage Jam. Oh my god. Oni does not want to press. Ereth just
and finds it. So close. And it also does go to show that the healing from Oni before with the OD, that does matter a lot. Because like, while yeah, Ereth still won, that was a very close ending at that point. Like any way in, and Oni could have still just stolen that back.
The wheel of fate is
Oni
turning.
opting to just kind of rely on his defense and, you know, hang back. Maybe he was looking for a place for 2A over there. A bit of a stark change from some of his play from earlier. There are times where, back in the day, you would see Oni kind of fold or lose himself to his nerves on defense and start to DP kind of a lot in tense situations right there. But I feel like as a player, you know, if you've been watching him through the net play years, you've watched him gain a lot more discipline over time. Casuals, though, he's still a nutcase. I hate playing with casuals, but it's fun. I'm lying. Gets the DP right there. Catching on Ereth, just constantly mediating. Overdrive is available for him. Gets the throw.
Actually, active flow switches over now.
Yeah, it is actually funny how it got timed.
Yeah. Nice
Here.
hit for Ereth.
Pushing sides. Good Oki. Call out the delay tech with the J2C.
The DP still lands.
ID cross up DPRC. Hold that. That is our protagonist.
It's so scary.
I
Counter
hate
hit
it. I get
already.
smoked by it all the time. Oni probably putting in literally just 1-2A too many for that to finish up the combo. Oni probably looking for some IVs right there in order to challenge afterwards. Ereth kind of noticing that and just walking up and throwing, keeping it simple. 6B counter hit, probably catching Oni mashing with 2A. Agito, J2C to check the delay tech, but that doesn't cover DP, my friend.
There's the 2A again. Oni is at set point. This means a lot.
He could probably pop overdrive on the next hit. Yeah, might not secure the kill, but it'll definitely put him at a solid lead. But the wake up OD from Ereth into this straight kill. And that's the thing with this game, right? Your defensive ODs matter so much in order to keep people's offense in check. Right there, Oni felt so confident in going for the meaty throw there because Ereth had not been showing any wake up OD whatsoever. And that's a big risk, especially against Hakumen.
But right now, Ereth not having OD on the table, but still finding a nice way in with the overhead 60 as well. But the
Forcing
OD
the defensive
pop from
OD
Oni.
there.
Yep.
It's the counter, so fully invuln there.
Yep. Has no shines. This is a little scary, but can still just set the pace with their bigger buttons.
And this is fantastic for Ereth, I gotta say. He drew out Oni's overdrive. Didn't have to pay much for it at all. Still has a massive life lead after this. Almost has 50% meter for a counter assault or a Yukikaze. Gets called out on the delay tech, and that's not good. Oni's getting a lot more health. Purple throw now as well. Overdrive still on the table. What are we gonna see?
The life lead has changed. Ereth got hit again. OD getting popped.
Oh
OD
my
getting
god,
popped for Oni as well. That's death.
That's it. Yeah.
That has to be death right here.
Finish it.
I need the meter. And there we go. Oni taking it 2-1 over Ereth. That was so scary. The life lead was all there for Ereth. It was a perfect running on for so long. But Oni, very, very nicely played. Like, Ereth played very defensively, and it was working for a while. But once Oni finds their one way in, they tried to milk it for all it was worth, even going for a purple throw reset just to continue as much damage as they wanted.
You get 1 per set, and by God, did he use it well. I do want to call out the last interaction that we just saw in the replay there, though, because I do think it's actually really, really critical to that ending sequence there. You saw Oni go for the jump cancel there. As I understand it, he wanted to bait out a burst and then potentially take the set off that. I actually disagree with that. And this is and I will state my case here. Getting the burst out of Hakumen is the best worst case scenario you could ever look for in that situation.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, because that was a hard burst bait, right? Like, if it doesn't work, you reset to neutral. It wasn't even like a softer burst bait that keeps your pressure going. And yeah, if you end up full screen versus Hakumen, life's kind of even. Doesn't seem like the worst place to end up. And he doesn't have OD, which was what took the round prior in Ereth's favor.
Yeah, you get left in a position where it's like, okay, yes, I'm at full screen. Yes, I'm against Hakumen. Maybe it takes a while to get in, but otherwise you're like, it's not really a do or die situation here.
Right.
Additionally, your offense gets to, like, you get to do a lot more on offense because the overdrive option is completely gone. So your offense opens up a bit more as a result of it as well. And if your opponent doesn't burst, then you quickly confirm into a super and potentially kill anyway.
Right.
That's your best case scenario. So just a couple of things to note in that situation. Either way, though, Oni took the set. And this is no slight to him. This is just my opinion on something. But, I mean, hey, these players are going at it, and these are very high-intense, fast-paced situations. And realistically, that could have gone in like 30 different ways.
Oh yeah.
And as you mentioned before, this is also people getting like ready for other brackets and like CEO as well. They're wanting to practice everything. They're really going hard into this, and it's just like in those moments, yeah, you might make a slight mistake, and it just means a lot eventually. But that's something that you'd have to review, and that's why we do these things.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting fatigued. This bracket's been so hyped. Sorry. I do want to say thank you to everybody who is watching and everyone who's contributed. We do have stretch goals on the pot. It's a long ways away, but if we can get to $150, we will pay out top 4, which will be very relevant very soon because we're about to enter loser semis. We got one more losers quarters to determine who's going to be in loser semis and who's going to cement that top 4. So if you have some Matcherino bucks to give, Towito gave 5. Much appreciated. I saw that. So if you have Matcherino bucks to give, we would appreciate it. Where is Adroth?
That is a very good question.
Maybe they want to go and pick up the Stan Tech gang.
Oh, exclamation point drip in the chat.
Yeah, the drip in the chat.
Yeah, so we can
check that
chill
out.
that a little bit. We got some apparel that you can shop for now. Stan Tech gang, you know you do it. You know you don't OS sometimes. You're mashing throw as you're waking up. Especially if you play Guilty Gear. Especially if you play BLAZBLUE. Especially if you play DNF Duel. Oh my goodness, the Stan Techs in that game are out of this world. So check it out if you like it. Limited time offer, I believe. I don't think these will be here forever, so get your orders in if you want them.
This way you can own up to it.
That's right.
Like, own up to your cringe at that
Yeah,
point.
stand tagging isn't cringe, it's an OS. I'm option selecting, teching your throw, and dying, so, you know.
You're selecting an option.
Yeah.
You're not even option selecting it. You're just straight up selecting it.
You ever see that Homer Simpson meme where it's like, yeah, that was an amazing wake-up throw to win the round. What was going through your head? And he's like, I was selecting an option. It was an option select.
I actually haven't seen that meme yet,
It's,
surprisingly.
yeah.
I have not either. I want to see that now.
No, Simpsons memes are awesome.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Big
I haven't
fan,
seen
big
that already.
fan. Where's Adroth? I'll ping him again. Or make sure all's good, I guess.
But yeah, these sets have been pretty crazy over time. And don't forget,
Oh, there we
if
go.
you like
Perfect.
the stuff, these are weekly. Technically bi-weekly
they-
if you're not a beginner.
They're bi-weekly, and once we have 16 beginner champions, we're gonna run an all-star bracket of them. And I'm thinking of just moving this open to weekly after season 1 of the beginner tournaments because we get so much good talent, and I think making it weekly would attract even more talent.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to do. But yeah, either way, I mean, well, that would be an interesting thing on the list of interesting things that are going on for WASD in general. I mean, there's so many events that are constantly going on. I mean, you've got the Uni and MBTL brackets on Mondays. Grand Blue, I believe, is on Wednesday, or is that plus R?
Right now we're doing Grand Blue and Plus R alternating on Wednesdays.
Yeah, so you got Grand Blue and plus R going on as well. You got WASD Lives going up. Crossover Arc is later on. Like, there's a ton of stuff that's like pumping up. So, very exciting to see. Give Jin a TOD Mori. Jin already has 10k confirms. That's a TOD on certain characters. So that's he's already hit the theoretical TODs. And that character does a bajillion damage off of like 50-meter overdrive and counter hit. So he doesn't need that aura. Aura, okay, let me TOD Tager. Aura, you don't interact with Tager. That's not how that matchup goes. You're just chilling the entire time. Okay, well, we all want things in life, but we don't always get them all. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on with the set. Looks like both of these players are raring to go. Click the X button, Aura. Stop typing in chat. We got a bracket to go through. Swear to God.
Please select your character.
So at this
Don't
point, we're gonna be
hide.
seeing the Jin Susanoo.
Yeah. So, goodness. I have tried to play this matchup with my sub Jin, and Adroth, like, kills me every time.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, I don't even. Adroth has a lot of experience in this matchup, is really kind of what I'm saying, and he is very good at catching on to Jin's tools and habits. So, we'll see how this one plays out. I do believe Aura. I don't know how much Aura has played Adroth, like as of late. So, we go a lot differently. We'll see.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Hopefully things go well.
Action.
Adroth's not gonna make it easy. We've been seeing how they go through the bracket. Finding a nice counter hit with the overhit as well. They have DP unlocked.
Fuzzies! We are A-okay though.
Yep. Nice way for Aura to get in. That was a counter hit with the 6A. Still trying to find some nice ways in. Zoning out a little bit. There's the sword. Nice DP through the sword. J2 speed catching.
Yep. GG, you're gonna mix up afterwards, or you're just gonna go for the knockdown? Mix up. I think he definitely did not want DDP. Probably was looking for Snowflake. Didn't hit confirm on the 3C, so popped the overdrive and just kind of unfortunately wasted it, quite frankly. That's a 60 Grand Viper here from Adroth, storming in to take advantage of the situation.
Has a lot of seals unlocked as well. Now has the Hunter's Fang, so has multiple ways to open up.
On it needed to play with as well. RC mix, tries to go for the throw, doesn't work.
Yep. Oh, in active flow. Wondering how they're going to be able to use anything. Beauregard did get back their OD/burst. You see anti-air.
Wheel RC, but he went on the other side, didn't quite staircase properly.
There's the 6A RC. That can kill, and there we go. Beauregard taking round 1. Both players now also have OD as well, actually.
Yeah,
it's almost like nothing else. Yeah.
So one thing that we're seeing a bit from, I just want to point out and just kind of note Aura's air movement at full screen for later. Just keep that in mind. Might be relevant for a bit. Right now, though, Adroth getting the hit successfully, shifting their pressure into their team. Aura barriers on the crush trigger, tries to go for the 2D.
2 Hunter's Fang unlocked with level 3 bite.
Oh, that DD not working out for Aura.
Yep. That's going to be doing a decent amount. DP's unlocked. God Press unlocked now too. Caught the roll, and that does so much damage. Adroth putting around on the board for themselves now as well.
Going into the last round of the first game here. And one thing I want to point out is that Aura's going for a lot of these like ice swords at full screen. You don't usually want to do that in cases where Susan is kind of standing and sitting at full screen. Because Susan 6A, the gun, as I like to call it, some other people also like to call it, does allow him to just nullify the projectile and move the seal counter. So you don't want to get, wow, that 2C hit in a strange way. I actually can't do this. That was just weird. Adroth getting another unlock, has the wheel now.
Level 2. DP and the 2 Fang. Nice, but still Beauregard finding their hit in active flow. Has OD. Not 50 meters quite yet. Trying to find ways to fade things out. The wheel went over. This is really good for Aura.
Okay, just one super to finish it. Goes for the EA. Still gonna kill. Beauregard taking the first game there.
Very nice.
Yeah, every time Aura does an ice sword at full screen, I get anxious because I half expect Adroth to like super jump IAD and then JC the crap out of him and unlock like 3 seals. Or especially when Jin opts to go for the ice sword in the air, because that leaves him airborne and in recovery for so long. And Susan will maul you if he approaches you suddenly and you're not ready for that distance to close. Yeah. So, just a thing to know. Jin does have some pretty obnoxious normals to work with in order to handle that situation entirely. Not get caught. Something to factor. Speaking of which, there's the 6A as well. Level 3 tackle now. So this Adroth didn't just convert from full screen. Pretty much anywhere on the screen and do decent damage.
Also has a sword. That was DPRC catching and getting a nice combo.
Beauregard, undeterred, still opts for the DP as well.
But the trade just wins for Adroth.
Yeah. Adroth not opting for DP a lot on defense. I think I have a decent understanding as to why. because a lot of times when Aura sets 3C, you know, Snowflake, you know, we saw it in the Zen set where it would get called out a lot with reversal super, but because Susan DP is a projectile, it may clash and Snowflake may actually beat it out because Snowflake has high durability. Like, that's a possibility. And Adroth is usually not the type to opt for reversal super. Like, that's a rare option for him, relatively speaking. That's the 6A, 6C off of the 2A right there. The damage
Just got Grand Viper.
and wheel.
Yeah, wheel, Grand Viper, Jazz hands. A lot of things unlocked.
Surprisingly backing off, not really committing to his position. Gets the 5B, no follow-up. The Grand Viper was not a single combo, but God, that was a slick 3C.
Yeah, very nice.
Susan's ground buttons are nothing to scoff at. We all talk about 5B and 6B. Those buttons are dumb and big, right? But 5A is an extremely strong button, and 3C is actually a pretty solid button as well. Both, when used properly, can form stop signs around an opponent to keep them from dashing in. 5A, especially because of its size and speed. 3C, because it hits at a much longer range and on counter hit, you just pick up off of it. That is
spending burst early.
That is a very early burst. That's going to lock him out of active flow. If he gets smoked fast enough, he's not going to build up burst either for the next round. That is playing with fire, so to speak.
Yeah, right now you kind of want this round to go as long as you can, but you're in the corner against Adroth. That's not good. Fatal counter.
Yeah. Fatal 6B is going to shorten the round by like 20 seconds.
Yeah, and so many seals unlocked for Adroth too. Like, you get a nice combo here. You want to milk that for all it's worth. There you go with the 6ARC. So we're actually building a decent amount of meter. Gets the reset with a throw. Actually, this is looking pretty nice for Auragard.
All it took was one knockdown. Jesus Christ. Drawing out the overdrive from Adroth as well. Full meter, gets the throw tech here. Tries to tackle in order to cowl him out, but not working out whatsoever. This is really good until you got...
Yep.
However, still has more than a bit of a fighting chance here. Auragard's burst is finally back. Managed to drag out the round just long enough. Adroth that full meter, gets the hit with the 6A. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of gunshots. It's not that kind of neighborhood, Adroth. And the 6A and Aura still stole the round and has burst going into it.
Cannot believe that. Adroth is actually the one that doesn't have burst just yet. That went so far for Aura.
And again, it literally took one knockdown, a couple ice resets, and here we are.
Adroth still finding an early lead. Has so many seals unlocked. Level 2 Fang, so they got the pillar now.
Going into the standard 6B pressure, or finally challenges with DP.
With the DP
trying to keep... Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Nice blocks for Adroth so far.
Snowflake. Ooh, very bold 3C, but not going to work out in favor for Aura. In fact, that's an overdrive for Adroth. That means he wants to get a kill off of this situation.
Yeah.
Just barely popped active flow in time. That's amazing active flow management right there. You're dead.
Yep. Adroth. A little bit more than a fourth of the way through the burst.
Yeah, but Aura still has it. 5B here now. Adroth's trying to catch out Aura. Playing just out of range, not able to pick up afterwards.
Set point for both players. Everything matters right now. There's Fang, already picked up for Adroth. We got the Grand Viper, DP, Fang.
Oh my goodness. Burst is on the table for Aura. Pops it out the last second. Yeah, he really wanted to hold on to it. Okay. Will that JC get something started? No. The up back JA from Adroth protecting his space. Killing Auragard, taking him out of the bracket 2-1. Very, very intense set right there.
Yeah. Very good try for Auragard, showing just how well they can do with the Jin there. And like as we mentioned before, those resets and everything, they could go far for a lot of things, but it's still really risky, especially with like Adroth. They know their routes, they know their damage, and meter management, everything was just really nice there.
Yeah, I think the other thing that was important to highlight was some of the risk taking from Aura in neutral. Right, there was a lot of situations in which, you know, he would try to run up in 3C and catch Adroth's movement, which is fantastic. If it counter, it's, you know, you're getting a bajillion damage for that, right? But the risk is that things can spin out of control very quickly because the startup and recovery are nothing to scoff at on that. You can get caught out. And there are certain times in which in a scramble situations, maybe they pressed and it just didn't quite work out, right? That being said, of course, you know, we keep highlighting it. You know, their offense on that was very good. And it definitely seemed that Adroth was flustered, and it felt like suddenly in that last game, he kind of just said, wait. Sorry, I think I cut out for a second.
Yeah, you cut out right at the
Yeah,
end there.
we were waiting.
Thank you. You know, the computer froze up a second. Like, but it was finally on that last, you know, game where it felt like Adroth composed himself again, was like, okay, I actually have to handle my business right now. And then cleaning it up. But
Yep.
enough of that. We got winners finals
Winners
here.
finals, baby. Killer Kitty Icecool, a classic in these parts.
Yeah,
It's
I've
an
tuned into a
amazing
couple
matchup.
WASDs, and I've seen these guys in top 3 rather frequently.
I love seeing these as well. I have a pretty personal bias here, but I still love seeing this matchup. I love the S, and Killer Kitty is one of my favorite ones to watch, but I know just how cool, like, Icecool is. Like, just anytime that you just see Icecool pull up, you don't know if you're in for some amazing pressure or just the highest damage numbers you've ever seen.
Yes. That is that that's that crazy thing. Sometimes you'll see a Susan and they will just smoke everyone in their sight. Other times you see some of the weaknesses of the character. In this case, you do get to see a lot of weird interactions. Something that I would say, but let's get started and see what both players have to say about that.
Oh, gun already being used. Nice play.
Yeah, and you can tell based on the 6A, 6A, 4D right there, Icecool really wanted to get wanted to get DP. Definitely wants to keep his defensive options, especially when you're dealing with pressure from someone like WASD.
Yeah, so like stuff like right there.
Yeah.
Gets you out, gets you some pressure. The DP getting used from Killer Kitty has to burst afterwards because of the counter hit with the 2C. The delayed wake up actually gets Killer Kitty a nice way in. Meter. Full meter for Icecool, but can't quite yet use it. He'll be getting popped.
Draws out the overdrive. Runs in with the 6B. Sword hits backwards, baby.
Yeah, but had to RC it just to try to keep safe. Icecool in active flow, already getting most of their burst back. They have to find their way in to finish this off. There's the overhead RC. Very nice. Killer Kitty taking round 1. Round 2. Neither player has OD. DPing through. Killer Kitty having a nice hit as well.
Yeah, managed to get the IB there, using Icecool a lot less plus after the 6B. And able to challenge Lucy there. Icecool out there responding in time, gets the truck crusher. That makes his confirm so much easier for Skill Manager. Catching the delay tech with 6B, this is another, like, 4 player set.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage in such a small amount of time. Icecool also still has, like, an extra 50 meter they can use for anything right here, and they use it for the counter assault. Look at all the seals. They also have like level 2 Fang for Pillar. Counter assault having it used by Killer Kitty as well. Using the mobility to try to just get any opening. Still, Icecool just backing off. Nice tech. Still gonna hit by the projectiles.
Jesus, so
Ooh,
close.
PRC.
God.
Ooh. Icecool taking it with the DPRC there, really nicely done. Yeah, you mentioned before that they really wanted the DP unlocked. And it's probably for also situations like that where it's like, so we can just find some nice ways to close it out.
Jesus. Ooh, the Crush Trigger trades, and Killer Kitty gets a better combo because of it.
That's actually funny.
That's up the press right there. Icecool, good knowledge on when the crest will pop. He knows that he can challenge there, and the crest will not trigger quite yet. Getting a couple of, actually, only getting Sword First Trouble. Still a great unlock against S, but not much else to speak of.
And especially still now, you're getting put here.
Sword
Super. Okay, very nice.
Yeah, DP now immediately available for Icecool. Pops it. Catching a lot of these delay techs once again with the 6B. Anti-air, DP, and a 5B. To let Icecool take this game.
Very, very nice for Icecool. Going back almost immediately.
Yeah, and remember, this is winners finals. We got 3 games to play with here, but Icecool looking like he really wants to finish it as quickly as possible with some of the gameplay he's got here.
I mean, at the same time, you don't want Killer Kitty to really adapt all too much because this is already not the easiest of matchups, I feel, for Susanoo. But if Killer Kitty ever adapts, like, stuff can just go wrong. This is already a decent chunk of damage. Killer Kitty gonna be an active flow as well. Nice smash with 2A. Icecool finding some good seals. Got the Sand Kick, the DP, Fang, and Grand Viper.
Icecool getting pretty much the Susanoo Essentials collection right here. Lots of seals to play with as well. And gets the deluxe edition with Sword here. My goodness, how much money you got to spend on these albums, man? Gets the 6B, 5D, 6D, finishes it off with that orb. My god. Excellent seal usage from Icecool there.
Yeah, I think they spent it on S's card because I think everything for S just went into the red right there.
Yeah, basically. And Killer Kitty once again spending a lot of cash on that burst and not looking very good for them. Sword unlocked, another delay that caught by another 6V attempt. Killer Kitty's got to make an adjustment there, otherwise Icecool is smoking for it. Look at the huge reward they get off of it. They didn't trigger Active Flow, surprisingly, on the super there. Might have been able to kill if Active Flow triggered, honestly.
But still, that's nearly 6K, and then the 3C just takes it there. Icecool up 2 games on Killer Kitty.
Yeah.
This is really dangerous. You mentioned they wanted to get this fast, and you can tell.
Yeah. I think I saw them talking about it in the chat earlier, but it looks like they really want to get this W in this bracket tonight.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Right now, Killer Kitty down 2-0. What do they have in their back pocket to show off against Icecool to maintain their winner's run? So far, it feels like Icecool's had so many responses for so much of what they've had. Speaking of which, there's the 5B right there. What more could Killer Kitty do to get out of this sticky situation?
Yeah, have to find some way to really start their pressure going. Counter assault out for Icecool, using the projectiles really nicely. There's the anti-air. JP's work. Nice combo, doesn't set up a crest.
Keeping it simple. Icecool blocking these crush triggers now. Killer Kitty's gotten a lot of mileage out of them. Icecool once again, a 6B after a knockdown. How many times have we said it at this point?
Yeah. Okay, sets up the crest. There's the overhead. Got fuzzy jump.
Icecool quickly. Now, QC gets baited, but nothing crazy out of it. Forced to crush, counter assault rather. Good air movement to get out of there. A bit of a scramble, but Killer Kitty maintains composure until they didn't. Icecool once again looking for the 6B. You gotta keep doing it until they show it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
God, that's 6A moving.
Missed 6A. Icecool, match point. Very, very close.
Had the crest available, so got the plus frames after the overhead. Another crest for more plus frames. Or rather the Bourse. Icecool trying to challenge, but despite the DP from Killer Kitty, Icecool still manages to figure it out. He's already unlocked, still gets the route for Wheel. Calls out the delay tech again with the 2A here. 60 gets blocked, no dice for Icecool. Killer Kitty manages to take their turn back.
Trying to take this as far as possible with the DP now for Icecool. Icecool also in active flow, dealing nice damage, has a bunch of seals unlocked. There's the God Press. Oh, Killer Kitty has to burst with just a small amount of health. You have to make everything count, but no, the DP from Icecool takes it 3-0 over Killer Kitty.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a 3-0 in what quickly became dominant fashion. For Icecool here. The way how he was able to navigate through Killer Kitty's defense, set up his own offense, cleverly use his seals as well as other tools like 6A and such in order to deal with S neutral. Just putting on a great showing and making a pretty damn good case for why they're sitting in winner sides of Grands.
Oh yeah, I think Icecool's won 2 of these, 3 of these at this point. Multi-time champion.
Ooh. Definitely showing their stuff right here. And man, that God Press, in those burst baits, you just got to commit to it. You can't get your turn back. You just got to whole commit to it because people sometimes delay their bursts in order to like still get out of there. But sheesh, that was quite the set. And don't forget, that's just winners finals. We still got loser semis and losers finals and then grands to go through. And then we can pack it up for the day.
Icecool really looking like he wants to take it, though. Strong showing in every match we've seen so far. So everyone else, all the other 3 here, are gonna really have to work to get up there.
And right now we're gonna be
loser
seeing
semis.
Oni versus Adroth.
Yeah, it's looking like both players are pretty ready to go for it. This is also a classic. These two have played each other in bracket quite a bit. Typically in a top 8 for a net play bracket, so this is not very surprising whatsoever to me. Yeah. And remember, this is loser semis, 2 out of 3. You got to put it all on the line real quick.
I still love Adroth's little title. Meaty God Press boys. I've never seen them go for it in bracket.
He came up with the new like God Press setup that like catches neutral attacks in the corner. We saw him try to go for it earlier in the set, but I couldn't point it out. If we see it, I'm gonna just scream. I'm gonna let you know. I'll be honest. Great overdrive from Adroth though. Oh, all right. We get it. You're cool. We get it. You're cool. I haven't seen him do that in a while. Jesus Christ. Tried to 6B after the DP, but only just barely got the meter to RC afterwards. Okay,
oh gosh, has some amazing seals unlocked, and just Adroth going off. Has the sword, has level 2 spin, nice RC, nice block from Oni as well. DP getting used. A nice punch. Yeah, active flow OD for Oni, gonna be spending the meter. We go into super. That's a lot of health now.
And of course we wake up wheel. All right. Okay. I get it. You're cool. Please keep doing that. Jesus Christ, Adroth, what the hell?
I don't think I can take this anymore. Please do it again.
That's how I feel. Oh my God.
There's the overhead.
Barely a follow-up to it, but oh God, and there's the 6D as well. Oh my, are you gonna pack him up?
Oh,
You're gonna pack him up?
Bend the meter. This is a perfect.
Oh my God. Well, it's like Adroth wants to finish up his bracket a little quicker, huh?
Yeah, both our Susanoo players just want to take this as fast as possible. Adroth already going 1-0 over Oni. Wow.
Well, that was a game. Oni got hit. Adroth did really cool hits. Then Then Oni got a really cool hit, but then Adroth hit him more, and then he died.
The wheel of fate
That's
is
Damn, I can't believe you literally just summarized all of BLAZBLUE right there.
Shut up. Whatever, man. Whatever. Anyway, 6-8 whips. Adroth gets the steal. Nice JC right there. Gonna get the unlock right here. Get sword. Super great for him, unlike that 2C.
Sword and wheel unlocked, but right now Oni has the pressure, finding some health back. Blue beat finds some Oki meaty, but not much. Ooh, OD getting popped for Adroth, but hasn't gone through anything just yet. But oh, that didn't work out for Oni right there.
Baits out the DP, and that's what I'm saying. There are times where sometimes, you know, either Oni gets flustered or something else happens and they kind of go for a DP. And if you can get a read on that punish or what that player emotion is like, you can absolutely smoke them, especially on Susanoo. Forcing the burst out of Ragna is still good. Oni, however, maintaining the lead after that interaction, but something to note for later. Trying to 5B there. Adroth staying disciplined, not pressing anything into it quite yet. Repressure attempts here. Overdrive once more. DP is air blocked, but still punished. Manages to get that kill there. Oni got a round on the board. Can you clean up and get the second game, though? What do you got for us?
Has to make everything work. It's actually really good that that game was like slowed down a good decent amount, because you let Adroth go at their speed, it's not going to look good. But right now, Oni once again finding their way in, finding their pressure. Let's see, what are we looking for? There's the throw. Trying to pick him up. Yeah, the life lead
available for Adroth. Are we going to see a wake up OD? We'll only draw out the OD. You're going to go for a throw. What's the mix up here? No, drop out of the corner now. Fighting. Yep. DP from Oni, backed up by the 50 meter. Burst coming out, baited!
An amazing burst bait right there. It's a hood perfect right there for Oni.
Yeah, I think it was the Ragna perfect there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
On to game 3.
Both players really playing quite explosively right now.
Rebel 1. Action.
Counter right there from NJA. Oni starting to get away with a lot of dead spike.
Whoa, fatal. Yeah,
I can't there. Bursting there. Adroth going with another 6B, trying to catch something out. The 6 overhead. Jesus. Sword already unlocked. War unlocked as well.
Oh, there's the cross-up DPRC.
Oh, we're going to talk about the interaction in a little bit. Right now, these rounds are going by so fast. Nightmare Edge delaying the air momentum. Adroth not ready for that. Now, only just about keeping it even. 6B inbound. Oh, gets blocked by Adroth. Wow, just barely crossing under.
Yeah.
Looking out for the Nightmare Edge this time, manages to get the hit. Both players are out of burst. Good 5B counter right here from Oni. Spending the meter in order to push that even further, take them to the corner. 4K damage, that is well worth it. Jesus, what?
Nice smash. This can equal a lot. Just need to find the pressure again with the C there. Oh, rapid on the heel.
Yeah. Jesus.
Nice blocks.
Wow, JA barely whiffing. Overdrive soon to be available for both players. But very interesting. We saw this a couple interactions ago, right? Orb is very useful as a pressure reset because it pushes the opponent very far. But because Adroth didn't route his block string properly, Oni was still very close and in perfect range to counter poke with the 5B immediately afterwards. What in the world? With the 5A, but still had just enough time to 2C. Delaying the tackle in order to counter hit Oni here. Nice variation on the pressure. Lots of seals unlocked. This could just be it for the round.
And they need to take this round. They need to close it out. Triple jazz hands. The OD through. Oni has a chance now. Has full meter.
This is like 5K.
That is very close, yeah.
Jesus. Look at that
5.5!
All the health gained as well. Adroth forced to spend the meter on the counter assault just to survive. Goodness.
Oni is in active flow.
70%.
For both
He doesn't want to take a big risk. Counter assault
so
again.
Scary. Counter hit for Oni. Get this meter.
Oh my god! There's the burst. No! The Carnage Scissors?
And
Are you out of
Oni
your mind? Oni!
takes it.
How did you... What?
The
That was so smart. That was smart. No, that makes so much sense.
Oh.
Because constantly throughout the set, Adroth was using 6B in situations to catch Oni recklessly approaching. He is a nutcase for doing that, but those are the kind of reads that you can make when you recognize an opponent's like decisions. Just check it out on the replay here right now, right?
Wow, you're right.
Look at that. Backs up, he was expecting Oni to dash in. That's why he went for the Carnage Scissors there. And he had the 50 meter to back it up in RC regardless. So he would have kept himself safe and started his turn.
That was
beautiful.
really good. So
extremely well played for Oni. Yeah, that was crazy, but that was immediately like already knowing what your opponent's gonna do before they even do it.
Oni will put himself into the money with that. Top 3 guaranteed. Has to play Killer Kitty now in a 1st to 3 for losers finals, and winner that plays Icecool. If we do get the Matcherino up, if anyone does have any last minute donations, if you enjoyed what you've seen, if we get that to 150, Adroth also gets paid. So there you go.
Listen, Jesus Christ. Let me tell you, it's BLAZBLUE, my friends. It's BLAZBLUE. We got a lot more coming in. We are moving on to losers finals. Let's get it. OniNYC versus Killer Kitty. S versus Ragna. 3 out of 5, friends. We've got a lot to go through. But given the way how some of these sets have gone, we could be here all day, or it could be a 3-0. Who knows? But everybody, if you want Oni to win, hit that 1 in the chat. If you're looking for Killer Kitty to win, press 2 in the chat. Let's see what you guys want to win, all right?
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1.
Oh,
Nobody putting in 1, 2, 2. You guys are very kind.
It's a 12 and a 3. Gotta love it.
No matter what, we're seeing some good-ass BLAZBLUE.
Yeah. Alright, like he already finding some nice pressure. He's got chip too.
Lots of IBs from IBs from Oni as well. Giving himself a bit more advantageous on block as well as giving himself grip on meter.
Yeah. Doing nicely, but Oni also finding their way in. Getting the corner. Baits the DP, but the RC Killer Kitty gets their way. Now they have active flow as well. Setting up the crest, baiting the DP themselves. Once again, the RC ODEA gets blocked by Oni.
Yeah, unable to punish due to the air block right there.
Counter hit.
Not sure what Killer was pressing there, but either way, Oni gets result of combo. Blue beat, so what's holding attack? I'm not sure where exactly it dropped in the combo.
It was quite early on.
From Oni. Well, yeah, I know which number hit, but not which actual move was used.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, honestly, very good from Oni right there. Also, notice the way how he just sat there waiting for Killer Kitty to come to him. You probably saw it a bit in Killer Kitty's set with Icecool. There are certain times in which they may kind of launch themselves at an opponent with that JBB, but Ragna's anti-airs and air-to-airs are quite strong. Right now, though, Killer Kitty playing it a bit slowly, trying to weave their way in a bit quickly. Oh, nice TRM. Oh my, so beautiful right there. Got the air block 5A, waited for them to land, and then just said, hey, come here. No punish on the projectiles, bit of an awkward angle, but a great punish on the counter assault. Oh my, what 5B. Delay tech as well.
Doing well here. No burst for Killer Kitty either.
He wants to
OD the super. Yeah, that's a good kill.
Yeah, it's OD devoured by darkness.
Yeah,
Somebody's dying.
That adds an extra Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really, really strong in OD.
Yeah, that I didn't actually know beforehand. Now I know to fear Ragna OD even more.
Yeah. Divided by Darkness is like the staple for Ragna's like OD combos, like in general. But yeah, as a trade-off, it's not very good. Like outside of it. Alright. Walking straight into a crest here. Killer Kitty gets to start their turn. Oni trying to navigate around the projectiles right here. Killer Kitty opting for a lot of these projectiles. Oni now starting to find some ways to move around it. We saw that like a little bit over time in the set. It just, frankly, it moved way too. What a pickup! My God. Gonna check out. Yeah, looking out for the DC right there. And that's again, you see that there's times where Oni will just kind of sit still and wait for Killer Kitty to come to them. Good hit here. Active flow triggered as well. Getting that extra damage bonus. Not enough to kill here, but gets the safe jump. Checking out. And there it is again. Another 6A. If Killer Kitty doesn't change up their movement, my God, we're going to talk about Ragna 6-day all set, to be quite frank. Good 5C here.
Very nice.
Killer Kitty starting their offense off. What kind of OP are we looking for? JCJD with. That's the crest pop, just waiting out, trying to get some information on Oni's defensive habits. Speaking of which, got counter hit on the instant instant overhead right there. Try to go for the Gaunt Hades, but that was an immediate DP. Really, really good from Killer Kitty. And a smart projectile usage right there. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but right now we're just focusing on a couple of these interactions. Another set of projectiles here, though. Gets the JC now. All right, Oni's got a chance. He can pop overdrive, and he can get a lot of health. He's betting big on this one. Active flow as well. He's going to get a lot of health back. Finish your food here. Devoured by Darkness. Keeping it relatively even, gets the hit. Looking for some burst or something of the sort, but the dash up, JB from Killer Kitty, unable to confirm, however. There's a projectile. So that's the big adjustment that we're already seeing from Killer Kitty. Remember how, like, literally only 2 rounds ago, we saw Oni get, like, 30 bajillion 6As?
Yeah.
Killer Kitty is now changing up their neutral in order to super jump and use their projectiles at a higher angle to play with Oni's expectations and catch him, even when he's attempting to dash forward. So Oni will have to manage to recognize how to route around it. That's a very smart DP, actually. That's risky, but that's very smart. Press pops, force the block, cross trigger once again. That's a long one. Yeah, it gets access to the 6-6C as well. Not a ton of damage to EPRC, but low profiled with 3C. That is smart. I've never seen that. Smart OD, except Borse was already active for Killer Kitty, so gets that follow-up.
Yep, gonna be catching out a little bit, but the EA was still on board.
The immediate
wake up
flip rise mash. DP, yeah.
It's the
Oni,
DP too.
that's
Very
the thing.
nice.
It's one of those situations where you don't really want to bet at all because of S's air dash. But I get it. Can't always go for that in that situation. When it's a clutch timing like that, there's plenty of players that recognize, oh, you're going to DP here because it's close, and you think I'm going to play antsy, or you're actually nervous yourself.
Very nice to see Killer Kitty tying it up 1-1. This is first to 3, so we still got a few more games to go.
Oni jump forward barrier, blocking the projectiles. Suddenly right now it feels like the difference in this set is how the neutral plays out. Killer Kitty starting to get a lot more advantage already. Ragna's halfway to death. DP connects. The leg tech is caught, but combo is unfinished. I do not think they wanted to pop that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That looks like it was a misinput. Not entirely sure what they wanted to get. Forced to burst, however. Real good for Oni. Backing up and just wanting to see what Killer Kitty has to offer. 6B will open them up real easy. Alright. Meteor on board for Killer Kitty. Are we going to see a reversal option? Nope. Counter assault? Nope. Oni's looking for it. There's the DP.
Doesn't want to spend the meter quite yet. Use it for other things. Nice run under. Just try to keep things a little bit further with the fireballs.
Oni playing it slow around the fireballs as well. Willing to back up and just take the projectile. Looking for that. You gotta remember, Carnage Scissors is fully invuln, and that speeds him across the stage. Very good adjustment from Oni. Telling you, these call that's like the second sick call out that I've seen him make with Carnage Scissors today.
I just love how it was. Yeah, just keeping it slow and then immediately press on the gas right there. With,
that's the thing. And a lot of times when you deal with characters with projectiles, right, in this game, if you back up a lot, they're going to slowly encroach on their space, and you're suddenly in the corner, right? You're not going to get walked down with a lot of air dashes in the pool, but that can happen. So very good on Oni to still stand his ground in a smart way. Killer Kitty attempting to low profile, but Oni smartly went for the JB instead. Air dashing out of the corner and reversing the situation super well. But Oni's not believing in his knockdowns nearly as much. It's letting Killer Kitty just jump out on a knockdown. Sets up at full screen. S with a life lead? Yeah, she does not want to talk to you.
Yeah,
forcing the burst out.
Full screen again. Run under.
Oh, I don't know about this. OD. He's got to get the hit. RC? No, didn't even need it. He gets the dash cancel in OD. That's right. Oh my god.
Counter hit. Nice hit. This can mean a lot. Oni doesn't have enough meter to go into any super or RC quite yet.
Are you gonna believe in it? No. Lets him out of the corner, but still. Gets the kill. Finishes it up.
Oh, wow.
That was so smart from Oni, right? He stayed away from Killer Kitty, right? In a similar position to the last round ending in that situation. Sorry, the last interaction like that. Maintained their position, however, and went for the preemptive air throw, knowing Killer Kitty was going to air dash forward and potentially opt for the JBB there. Very, very smart to trick Killer Kitty like that. Either that or it was just a sick-ass reaction, but I think Oni legitimately planned around that very, very smartly. Killer Kitty, however, still has something to say. Catching Ragna's landing with the 2V right there. Press is set. Instant overhead is gotten. It's time to combo. Golly, that's so sick. Alright, what's the OD? OD with? Keep it simple. And man, Oni is undeterred with these wake-up ODs.
Another nice hit for Killer Kitty. Set up one more time. No, not the crest. They're actually just going to back off a little bit. The JB holding things down. There's the DP, but they don't have meter for RC, so they spend burst. OD getting used for Oni. The JC lands.
Yeah, that's the thing. Popping overdrive in a situation like that when an opponent is above you is fine, especially if you get to run under, but you have to be mindful that they're probably going to all down with an air button. Oni looked like he had the right idea, but not quite primed to anti-air and get a stat confirm off of it. Plus frames with the crest there. Uses the projectile. That's up Boris, even more plus frames.
Ooh. Yeah, with the boars plus the overhead. Nice bait on the DP. Oni has been baiting the DP. He's been using the DP a lot just to get rid of that crest right there. So whenever Killer Kitty can bait it, it leads to a lot more. Nice hit, and that should take it. No, the burst, actually.
But this is dicey at best. You are living literally on a hope and a prayer right now.
Yeah, you are on a pixel with barely any... Yeah. And look even at the barrier. There was barely anything left. You had to go in.
That is exactly right, honestly. Killer Kitty setting up a situation to just let themselves fade back in JBB. Very, very good play from them right there. And we're going into the last game. It's a game 5, baby. We got a lot to play through here. And, man, I kind of don't want this set to end. I wish there was, like, 2 more games.
Such a cool set.
It's so good.
We can make it a first to 10. We can do that, right?
All right, we're not making it first. We're not making it not first to 10. Not first to 10. Maybe an exhibition. That'd be fun.
It'd be
good
too
6A
close
there.
with the first 10.
Oh, yeah.
I don't... It would be way too big. Oh, very nice opening up with the 6A right there.
Yeah, Killer Kitty's barely been using it this set. Oni opting to sit down, take the offense. Gets flipped up for it. 15 minutes to play with. Let's see what Killer Kitty does to play around the DP option. Still trying to up back. Forced to block the DP, but Oni just RCs and manages to get a hit and start their turn. Good 2A meaty from Oni. We can't let Killer Kitty get away with doing whatever they want on defense. Both players have to keep each other in check. Otherwise, the other will run rampant. Resetting into the 6A right there.
First getting used. There's the counter assault. Nice hit for Killer Kitty. This could probably end it. Yes, we do.
Right there.
All
right,
nice.
here we go. Burst was used by Oni. He's down to 20% to Killer Kitty 60. Let's see what he's got. Yeah. If he only can get the early momentum off a hit kind of like that, it could lead to something. 6B perhaps. There it is.
Very nice. We're about to have burst back up right now.
Just go for the meaty, keep it simple.
Oh,
but when you don't do it, your opponent gets to quick rise mash. The late tech do whatever they want. That's the big thing with BLAZBLUE offense. Sometimes you just have to go for the meaty, even when your opponent has so many defensive options. Wow, Killer Kitty only just barely dancing around each other right now. The JC connects. A bit of an awkward hit for the Gauntlet. Hades only not ready to RC and convert off of it. Keeps their turn, forces the CA out. Oni's a little greedy with the air throw there. Keeping it very close. The JBB just barely hits. Oni maybe went for the... Oh! Cross up. Gets the burst. Remember, it's set point. Killer Kitty wants to seal this deal. But the air throw!
No. Oh, that may have been a wrong choice to burst there, but... Oh, it's really, really close now.
Here we are.
No burst for either player.
The whiff punish right now on the 5C. Goes for the delay air dash. EP in kind from Killer Kitty. We're about even right now in burst meter and more or less in health. However, Crest Oki time, what have you got? Sets up the Boris, plus frames, don't challenge. Got caught right there, maybe trying to fuzzy jump or something. JD whiff is set up, meter is obtained. Killer Kitty now just blocking after the DPRC. Good adjustment from that player. And the rising JBB to catch Oni's approach. Roll forward, blocking the crush trigger. Back up, no. Holds his position. Holds that 2D as well, however. The JC comes in. Not able to kill yet. Counter assault perhaps from Oni. The barrier gauge is gone. He has to pop overdrive soon to get the barrier back. But Oni recognizes the situation, plays it safe. Killer Kitty has given themselves force, but doesn't need to force the issue. Right there. Amazing overdrive on Killer Kitty's attempt. Okay, you've got full meter. What have you got for us? Can you kill off of it, or will you get all your health back?
He's getting the health. This does so much. 5.7, but the wake up mash into OD for Killer Kitty. Just gonna end it with the super. And there we go. Killer Kitty just ending it right then and there. 3-2 against Oni. My heart is racing right there.
Now, okay. Now I see a comment in the chat, and I want to talk about that a bit. And let's look at this ending replay here, right? The reason why it was very smart for him to quick rise mash there was because Oni got very scared of doing a straight up meaty, or he was looking for the flash from a quick an emergency tech. That's actually a really smart decision there, right? We saw multiple times where Oni was not necessarily committing to meaties off of knockdowns at mid-screen. In the corner, he started to opt for them a bit more, but the quick rise mash there is legitimately very smart to do. You saw that the 5V was timed just a hair early, right? Oni wasn't looking for the delay text anymore in that situation. Killer Kitty recognizing that and opting for the quick rise there. That mash was so anxious, and you could see, you could hear us multiple times talk about how both players have to just kind of throw it out there and still opt for the meteor, check for the delay text. If you can't check the delay text, you're gonna get smoked in this game. That's just how it goes. And Quick Rise and BLAZBLUE in general is just fantastic for calling out an opponent that's looking for the flash of a roll or an emergency tech or something else.
Yeah, a lot of people will allude to the fact that, oh, it was a Game 5 scenario, it was a last touch scenario. You throw all that out the window, and you can just analyze how the set, has gone to your initial point, how, the meaties weren't coming. It contextualizes that decision a lot more. Where it's like, yeah, it looks extra scary because if you're wrong, you die because it's Game 5 and it's one touch and all that. But, if you take that out of the equation and you just look at the interactions that have happened, now there were a lot of them because that was a Game 5, it makes a lot of sense.
man, we got grand finals. We've had several banger sets in a row. I swear to God, if you don't use those godforsaken sponsor quests in the match arena, if you don't buy a damn shirt, if you don't tune into WASD consistently, hit the sub or at least follow, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, go tune in. You can check the VODs on YouTube as well, on Imperius Club. My God, man, like, it's these sets. It's BLAZBLUE, baby. God.
You would say BLAZBLUE is back, but quite frankly, BLAZBLUE never left, you know? It's always been this good.
Yeah.
Always. Grand Finals. Killer Kitty, Icecool. Killer Kitty on our loser side has to win 6 games. It's a tall, tall order.
Especially the way their winners final set. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page.
It's scary, but Killer Kitty has been showing off some good stuff. Maybe they're now ready. Can bring in some like hopefully a lot of different like adaptations just to shake Icecool up.
They certainly have the chance to ride a lot of momentum from their previous set. Let's see what they've got here. An OD on 6B. Smart EA there. Most of the time, an opponent's not going to force the issue after an OD on a Season 6B, purely because they recover very quickly. Excuse me, rather recovers quickly. This IB, which gives Killer Kitty the opportunity to DP the 5B follow-up. Icecool not kind of trying to commit too hard to their arrow movement, just waiting out for certain situations. Get caught with their orb out. Rest doesn't pop for the combo.
Icecool does have some nice seals. Not generally the trifecta you generally want to see. Killer Kitty though.
DP with 50 meter to play with and an overdrive.
Yep, and there we go with that. BPRC can never count that one out.
Icecool practically goading Killer Kitty to make a decision with that walk back right there.
And we've seen before, Killer Kitty will be likely to just run in if they feel like they have to.
Right now, though, on life lead against Icecool. Good preemptive JB catching out the JC attempt from Icecool. Very good round from both players here.
Now, this JB.
Oh! Big speed recovery. My God. What about now?
Yeah, now we have the Hunter's Fang unlocked. DP is unlocked as well. There it goes. 6B, 3C. Nice smash for Killer Kitty. We're not going to be going that far. Just setting things back. Nice hit for Icecool going to Hunter's Fang. They do have Grand Viper unlocked. There it is.
Yeah, reminiscent to Oni, right? Just walking back, letting Killer Kitty throw themselves out at them, and then just counter-hitting properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Even on the rounds here in our first game of Grand Finals for WASD BBCF. Icecool once again just backing up, right? Not trying to commit too heavily, doesn't need to take to the skies, doesn't need to dash forward, keeping it real calm. Cross up JD, still manages to go on the other side, keeping Killer Kitty in the corner. Raw God Press too, mind you.
Yep. Right now, God Press and Jazz Hands are unlocked right there. Still scary. There's the Crush Trigger.
Right? We've seen probably the most crush triggers as openings from Killer Kitty from this entire bracket, quite frankly. And it is a very strong options as well. Gives you a lot of active flow. The confirms from them are pretty good as well. I'm honestly more shocked that we haven't seen Icecool open people up with crush trigger more, because he has some pretty damn good confirms off of it. Nice fuzzy. Doesn't follow up with a full combo. 6B is blocked. 100 meter, will we see counter assault? No. Opting for the EA. Nice. Nice option right there from Killer Kitty. Recognize that Icecool cancel into wow. Wake up buttons. Yeah. A little reminiscent of Losers Finals, huh? Here we are, one game down. Remember, Icecool is on winner's side. All it takes is 2 more games and he can hang out and just relax, take his share of the prize pool, and claim himself the winner.
Yeah. As for right now, Icecool can actually take things rather calm and just go with it.
The wheel of
Watch
fate
how
is
Killer
turning.
Kitty is going.
Rebel
Has a lot of room to work with. Killer Kitty has to make everything.
Right. 2D. Uses the crest in order to start their turn. Not gonna be a big combo, but JD Oki on a Susan at round start. That's a pretty good way for us to get a match. Nice air tech.
The JB, Killer Kitty, has been doing so much work, but at the same time, it also is what makes them a little bit predictable for these anti-airs. Still, working out very nicely. We're going to be getting closer to the corner. JC overhead. So nice.
I see it. Wallen J right there. 2C on his own landing. Gets the DP unlocked. Just walks up afterwards on Killer Kitty's own DP. Takes speed to catch those delay techs. Again, you gotta call them out. Sword super, let's keep it real simple. Except that's not enough. The JC, however, keeps it clean.
That was so scary. Like,
The way
anytime
these guys
you
are-
lose a pickle.
The way these guys are feeling themselves tonight, Jesus, it's hard to let it go. Okay. This is blocked.
Killer Kitty's still trying to find their way in with the crests. Going to reset the pressure a little bit. Nice throw, but nice tech from Icecool. Still getting held down a little bit. Nice counter. Confirm. We see the JD Crestoki. Yes, we do. Twice. Oh, and we even got the boards. Continue the combo.
When will it end? When will the pressure end?
Oh, it never ends. This is S. Or
Oh,
we love
well,
the pressure here. Oh, never mind. Okay,
smash
okay.
the button. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right, DP and
twice.
Sand. Come on. Sword? Oh.
I'm surprised that that super worked because, so normally Susan 5A is really great at optional selecting for reversals, but I think Killer Kitty delayed tech, so Icecool did 2 5As and was not ready to time out an OS right there for the reversal.
Oh, there's a throw for Icecool. First for Killer Kitty. Doesn't want to be in the corner for long.
Out with the dash DV, Icecool likely trying to jump out of there.
Nice bait on the DP. Fatal counter. Icecool decides to burst. Got another 2 more seals. Sand kick, DP, and Grand Viper unlocked. Here we go.
Gets
Crush
a
trigger.
charge crush trigger.
Look at the damage on that. Very nice. Counter assault. But the pillar still hits. Icecool taking this game as well. 2-0 so far. Killer Kitty on the ropes so far. That's a little scary, especially against Icecool.
Yeah, this is certainly, we're seeing some adjustments, right? And we're seeing Killer Kitty get to start their turn and get to run their offense for periods of time, but it feels like Icecool manages to either weasel their way out or Killer Kitty's pressure ends, and then afterwards they have great discipline to kind of sit in the corner for a moment, wait for Killer Kitty to do something, and move in a way that beats that option to take themselves back to mid-screen. However, early burst from Killer Kitty, that's not what you want to see. Icecool keeping it calm, going for the EA right there. Icecool doesn't get very greedy on his OD activations, right? If he can just punish it and get an EA, he'll just opt for it. He's not going to really try to press for some crazy OD DP confirm or anything like that. The wheel whiffs. Killer Kitty manages to get the hit. No follow-up after the crush trigger. Not sure what was going on there. Maybe a misinput or something.
Possibly.
Gets a 2D. Icecool. Yeah. Icecool wake up 6C. I have no idea what's going on there, I'll be honest. Maybe wanted to sniff out some major hesitation from Killer Kitty. I'm not sure. Calling out the delay tech. You could probably have actually. You probably could have killed with Sue. My God. All right, Icecool's feeling himself.
Yeah, yeah. I was almost expecting the God Press, honestly.
Yeah. You can feel when Icecool is like playing confidently, and this is one of those sets where he's just like, actually, yeah, I know what to do. You're dead. Calling out the next delay tech, calling out the next delay tech. Looks like he was definitely watching the OniNYC set and just catching onto the delay techs there. Try to go for the sand kick challenge. 2D is set. Nice backdash.
Yeah, generally DP just wanting to get used, even if it's on block, just to get rid of the crest, but...
Strange counter hit right there on the crush shooter. Not sure what option Icecool is trying to go for. The run-up 2C, however, paying off very well. Level 2 wheel. Probably going to go for maybe sword unlock or something, or orb. Doesn't get the chance, however.
Killer Kitty choosing to burst there as well. You didn't want to hold on to it for OD or anything.
Oh, I'm not sure what the backdash there was for. Maybe it was trying to catch off like a DP and back off. I'm not really, I don't know. But the 6B will catch the wheel, just barely. Killer Kitty catch that point. Icecool versus Killer Kitty. Killer Kitty's got a huge road to climb if they can take this game, but at least it means survival. Icecool, meanwhile, if he gets this round, it's all over and he's the winner. Let's see what both players have to offer right here, and potentially the last round of our BBCF Open here.
Meter there, so that Grand Viper was gonna get punished. Here we go.
Yeah, it looked like Icecool was banking on getting enough meter after the Grand Viper to RC, but not quite working out for him. However, still managing to get a hit. Sword is unlocked, way better neutral control. Finally gets the mash on the charge crush trigger attempt. Killer Kitty getting a bit greedy, perhaps. Overdrive is now available for Icecool. This next hit could be big. OD, let's see what you got. Can he kill on time? Going for the early super, has active flow as well, but will this kill? I don't even know yet.
I don't think it will.
Going.
Barely.
Still alive. He is available. Tries to orb preemptively. Just trying to catch Killer Kitty's movement with the JB. Wants to just get in a hit Perp Box extension here. But the Fuzzy will let Icecool take grand finals of WASD BBCF Open. Let me tell you. Whew. We saw some amazing BLAZBLUE here tonight.
That was incredibly fun to watch, and I hope all of our players just had as much fun playing it, but goodness, that was crazy. What a night. What a night.
I was nuts. Briar, do you have anything to say here? Because we're kind of speechless.
Yeah, that took. One thing I will point out is Icecool only dropped a single game through his entire bracket run, and it was against Oni in like winner's side round 3 or so. So really came to play today, did Icecool, and absolutely showed his stuff. Everyone did though. I think all the matches tonight, from like the first stream match, every match was like a 10 out of 10 kind of match. You know, players played their heart out. You saw so many different matchups, so many different like aspects to the matchups, adaptation, adjustment. I couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, every match had something to bring, and that is one thing that I can always appreciate out of fighting games in general and BLAZBLUE especially, right? You
Absolutely.
get to see so many different aspects of what players can bring and ideas that they have and creatively express themselves. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that I'm able to run these and that people join and watch and contribute to the Matcherino. We've been doing this since December now when BLAZBLUE got rollback, and we're 14 open tournaments in, 14 beginner tournaments in, you know, with small breaks here and there, and the support has always been outrageous. So yeah, big ups to everybody. Commentators, you two killed it tonight. It was so fun to watch from back here behind, you know, the control center. And, you know, hope we get to do it again sometime. Do you two have anything you want to, like, plug, shout out, let people know about?
I got a lot to plug, so Koyo, if you got something, feel free to start off.
Alrighty.
Yep. As for me, I'm Koyo. I do post on Twitter occasionally. It's not very often, but what I've actually been appearing on recently has been on Kurno Oki's stream every now and again. Good friend of mine. Whenever he streams fighting games, generally gonna be late at night. So if you're a night owl, come by. I'll probably be actually there tonight, if anything. Probably playing some like Melty Blood and such. It'll be pretty nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Hey, I appreciate that. Okay. So I got a lot to say, a lot to shout out.
You might have to give me URLs as you do it, but I'll happily plug it all.
All good, yeah. So main thing I want to say, there's going to be another set of weeklies pulling up for BLAZBLUE. If you guys are interested in getting in a lot more, let me tell you, if you want 2 weeklies for CF, there's 2 weeklies going on. Boston Blue Beat is starting up a weekly tournament series, weekly Rambat series on Mondays. So if you need CF at a different time, feel free to hop on down. If you want Melty or Uni instead, WASD is always here for you as well. So lots of fighting games to be played on the Monday evenings. We're gonna be starting this coming Monday as well. I'll throw a link in the chat if anybody is interested in that. Additionally, there is a huge bracket actually coming up for BLAZBLUE soon on Saturday. It will be Final Friendly Fun Towns bracket coming up. Yeah, it's this Saturday. Beta Dude is in it. There's a whole bunch of like crazy strong people. So you should totally sign up for that because that is going to be an insane bracket. Let me check the numbers. Yeah, there's 42 players.
Wow.
If you want some more BLAZBLUE, you should definitely hang out over there. I'll drop the challenge here below. So there's a ton of BLAZBLUE to be played. So please, please, please go on and check out both of these brackets if you want a lot more sets coming up. Also, if you want to catch some Brazilian BLAZBLUE, Zate is always there for you as well. But yeah, I love this game a lot. I think I went through everything. You can follow me on Twitter at Towito66 to see what I'm up to. I also stream on Twitch sometimes to talk about the CF scene. And you can check out Boston Blue Beat as well if you want some more CF and anime FGC action in general. And also, last shout out, say thank you to your damn TOs. They put on a show. This is not easy by any means. It's 11:10 p.m. I've been talking for over 3 hours, but Ryer and the crew have been busting their butts off, all right? Make sure to say thank you to them, okay?
I absolutely appreciate that. Thank you for talking for 3 hours. I know how hard it can be. Got to keep plenty of water by you. Got to take a breather every once in a while. I know that's not easy. But yeah, nice segue. So my name is Ryer. I'm a tournament organizer and VTuber. I stream on my own personal channel, Ryer_FGC, a few times a week. And I help here at WASD run some tournaments. Keep an eye out for stuff in the future from both of those outlets. Shout out to WASD. This is the Imperius Club channel. We are WASD. We're an online and offline fighting game organization. We run 4 online brackets a week that are both beginner, intermediate style brackets and opens for Melty Blood type Lumina, Guilty Gear Plus R, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Under Night in Birth, BLAZBLUE, and I know I'm forgetting one. I always end up forgetting one. But if you're into it, check out the Discord. Check out Imperius Club on Twitter, WASD Gaming on Twitter. You know, we got you for your online fighting game needs. And for your offline fighting game needs, if you're in the New York area, consider checking out the monthlies. We have those as well. Same games, pretty much. Just they kind of rotate from month to month. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate y'all. I think we're going to send people over to... Is anyone else playing BLAZBLUE right now? Let's see. I promised Imp I wouldn't send people to other VTubers unless they were also doing fighting game stuff. So, Austin Astral Heat, Arcade UFO. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, that seems cool.
Yep, so let's go ahead and raid Arcade UFO. They're playing some more BLAZBLUE. Have a good day, everybody. Be good to one another, and we will see you on Sunday for our next tournament, which is going to be at one of our beginner brackets. I think it's Under Night.
Well, take it easy, y'all.
All right, 10-second raid awkwardness, but I'll put the end screen up for that. Thanks, folks.
Bye, y'all.